Well, all right, all right, all right. Yeah, I'm channeling my inner, what's the fucking guy's name again?
Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah, McConaughey, my inner McConaughey. All right. Yeah. Anyway, it's time for, you know, your fucking weekly KYHPB podcast. Totally stoked to be down here. In the basement. Sorry, my wife's blowing me up right now. Perfect timing for her, right? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Man, I tell you what.
Last week it was the kids. This week it's the wife. What the fuck?
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's always something.
Why you gotta have a family, Jerry?
I know.
You getting a grocery list?
No, not anymore. But, man, I tell you what. I have had a fucking weird day. I'll tell you guys about it here in a minute. It's been a fucking weird ass day. Fucking weird.
Groundhog's Day type shit?
No, like if I had to relive this fucking day.
About stupid people.
Oh, you guys have no idea. But yeah. Anyway, for those of you tuning in for the first time, which I hope there's more of you tuning in for the first time, I'm your host Jerry Saylor. This is the Kentucky Hop Around Boys podcast. In the studio with us tonight, we have a very special guest. I'm going to get to him in just a second, but I'm going to introduce the other players first because that's just how the fucking show goes. Anyway. He's my right-hand man. He sits on the left side. He is Lover Slope and Dusty B.
What's up, dudes? How the fuck's it going?
What's crab? Yeah, a little round of applause for old Dusty there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Also in the studio, as always, he is everybody's favorite cuck boy. He is the legendary Bruce Leonard.
Yeah.
Fuck, you see it, man.
Golf clap.
Yeah, a little golf clap there. But
I see your boy met with his boss today.
My boy met with his boss. You talking Trump and Putin?
Yeah. Finally got to meet the boss.
He's met him before this, though, right?
Well,
just over the internet.
He claims he didn't.
Oh. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't.
We all know he.
I was hoping he'd bust out some piss tapes. Like, check this out. Look what we got on you.
I want to see those piss tapes.
Yeah.
If they exist, I'd watch them. And I'd laugh my ass off the whole time while I'm watching them. I'll even share them on Facebook.
That's why he's so orange, man.
You know, you could be right. You could very well be right. But yes, our special guest, I'm very excited to have him back. He was back, I'm trying to think, he was here earlier this year.
Was it this year?
Wintertime.
Yeah.
It was cold.
Yeah, I want to say it was like January, February, or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's been a while, but we're glad to have him back. Dan, funny guy, Friedman.
Hey, what's happening?
What's going on with you, Dan? How you been since last time we saw you, man?
Well, I'm not as cold.
Yeah.
It's
currently hot as balls outside.
Yeah,
so.
I'm getting a real. After being out west for 15 years, I am still not used to the humidity that exists in the state of Ohio in general. Yeah, it's
like the armpit of the.
Earth. It's unfucking believable.
It really is.
It's nuts. Like, you had a crazy day. I kind of had a crazy day. I had to walk in this shitty rain and got hailed on.
Right.
And I couldn't decide if I was happy to be rainy, wet, and cold, or thankful that it wasn't hot and fucking humid. Like, there was no happy medium. It was like freeze your ass off or be hot and miserable. It was one of the two. There was no.
Now, are you more of a hot guy or a cold guy?
I prefer warm weather to cold weather. Most people don't like cold weather. I don't like cold weather. I will trade. I was, willing to trade, snowstorms and blizzards for earthquakes. I'd rather a building fall on me than, I don't know, slide off into a ditch and freeze my ass off. Because it's like a slow death. You're kind of like laying in a ditch, cold, thinking, this sucks. I'm going to freeze to death the whole time that it's going on. Whereas, like, in an earthquake, you just kind of look up, there's a building, and you kind of start to say, oh, shit, and, it's over. Right, so I'd much rather would be, my last words being, oh, shit, what's that Brit, and then getting hit in the head, and rather than sitting in a ditch, on I-71.
Doing the Jack Torrance.
Yeah. And just ending up, like Jack Torrance in The Shining.
Right.
So, yeah,
now, see,
is that right? That's The Shining, right?
Yeah.
He's like, Dirty! Yeah. And then he starts slowing down. Dirty!
But you know what's really weird about that? In the book, he doesn't freeze to death.
Right.
He blows up in the hotel. Right. Spoiler alert.
See, I'm the exact opposite, though.
The book is a lot different, actually.
Book's way different.
Yeah.
Books are always different.
Yeah, but it's
there's no blood in the elevators and shit like that. The book
shit.
is really good and scary. Like, if you ever really want to read a good scary book, I always recommend The Shining. Always.
Right.
Oh, The Shining is a great book. Period.
But he Kubricked it up.
Yeah, Kubrick. I mean, he took some artistic.
It's great. No, it's a
good
great movie.
Yes.
But I'm saying it's not like the book.
No.
There's a lot of stuff that's different. A lot of stuff left out.
Yeah. Oh, tons.
A lot of stuff he added in.
The hedge animals didn't move in the movie. Or did they? I don't remember.
Right.
It's been a while.
I'm not for sure.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
How was your day?
Dude.
I want to hear this.
Tell us about it.
Yeah,
let me preface this a little
my
bit.
nipples are
here.
hard, man.
Let me preface this just a little bit for you, okay? So, I work for my dad's garage.
Yes.
Okay, we're an independent shop. We do automotive repair. We're open on most holidays because we have nothing fucking better to do. I mean, I probably do, but nobody else there does. So, of course, we're open. And this week we had, 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, woo!
Right.
And out of nowhere, I get a phone call. It's like one of the only phone calls I got all day that day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this guy who's asking about getting his car repaired.
Right.
And I said, well,
obviously.
Yeah, obviously. And I'm
You
like,
wasn't calling for sports score.
no. But he calls me and he's asking me about getting his car fixed, and I'm talking to him. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. And he's like, well, I'm going to come up there. And I'm like, well, if you can get here quick, we're not going to be here all day.
Right.
But, we'll look at you and we'll see what's going on. And if we can get you fixed, we'll get you fixed. If not,
Fair
we'll
enough.
schedule you in. And he's like, okay, well, I'm coming from Carrollton.
Oh, shit.
Which is like a 45 to an hour
it's
drive
fun. It's fun.
from
Have
here.
you and he hadn't left yet.
No, he hadn't left yet. He was actually waiting on his old lady to get out of the store. That's what he said.
He's
Out of
like,
the store.
Yeah.
my buddy said like this. I went from my old lady, got the store. Yeah, I'm coming from Carrollton.
Pretty much, right?
See you tomorrow.
Right.
So Tuesday, 4th of July, the guy calls. He makes it up there, okay?
Right.
Right off the bat, I'm sensing some weirdness, okay? He gets out of the car. His girlfriend gets out of the car. She's like, wow, that was his first time driving on the interstate. And I'm like,
Wow.
everybody's like, wow.
Bam! We crossed the county line.
Yeah.
Where are we?
So instantly right there, I got a red flag. This
Florence, y'all. What the hell is that?
the guy comes in. He's like, yeah, I called you earlier. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, I got you. Where's your keys? We'll get you checked out.
Right.
So we check him out, and we're like, look, it's going to be what you need done is going to take a lot longer to do than how long we're going to be here. We're going to have to schedule you back in. He's like, okay, well, how's Friday look? I'm like, I could do you on Friday.
Yeah.
Friday will work. And just like I'm kind of feeling this guy out, what really weirded me out was the dude's girlfriend. Okay, I don't know if she's like, she acts like she's anywhere from like 8 to like 15 years old. She
Right.
is really weird. This is the vibe I was getting from her on 4th of July.
How old is she actually?
I don't know. I didn't ID her.
Well, she's not 15, right?
She might be. I don't know. Okay.
Is it his cousin too? I mean, how Kentucky are we
Probably.
getting here?
Probably.
Probably wears like an adult diaper and shit like that.
So we schedule him in. We schedule him in to come in today.
Okay.
Okay. I get to work.
What kind of
I
car?
just want to say real quick.
Wait, what kind of car is this?
Doesn't sound like his car's too fucked up because he's made 345 to come get his car fixed. So
Well, and that's the thing.
I really hope
Like,
his car was real fucked up.
He was on Tuesday when he came in. He was real adamant about getting it fixed that day.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what he called me about was a valve cover gasket leaking oil.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Not a super horrible thing to deal with.
Right.
It's livable. You can drive a car with a valve cover gasket leaking.
Right.
Not
You gotta
gonna-
keep
Yeah.
an eye on the oil. Make
Make
sure
sure-
you fill it back up.
Exactly. So he was real adamant about that, and I even asked him. I was like, why do you have to have this done today? He's like, because nobody's open down here today.
No shit. It's
And I'm like,
the 4th of
it's
July,
fucking
bro.
4th of July. No shit. So I give him we look at his car. He actually needs intake gaskets, which is like below the valve cover gaskets.
Okay.
It's a 99 Buick LeSabre, by the way.
Okay.
So
I was wondering.
It's not like a top of the line
Right.
It's not a high performance vehicle that needs attention right away. Okay.
It's not getting up to 88 miles an hour, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
It's not going back to the future.
I'm
anytime
surprised
soon.
that it made it on the interstate. You know.
Well, it was the first time.
Yeah, first time for everything, I guess. But we schedule him in for Friday. Friday morning comes. I'm at work. Everything's going kind of normal. And I'm thinking, maybe this guy's not going to show up. Like, why would he make a trip all the way back up here on Friday when there's obviously somebody down there that's open on Friday that can get him fixed?
You're probably like, fuck, when you saw him show up, didn't you?
Yes.
You're probably like, holy shit, this guy really drove here.
He actually made it, yeah. So he comes in. And he's got his girlfriend with
Third
him.
time on the interstate now.
Right. So
I'm just counting.
they come in. They sit down. I get their keys from them. Give the keys to the mechanic. He's like, yeah, I'll pull it in here. I'll soon I'm done with this one, blah, blah. The conversations that these people had is what really blew me away. Okay, now
But they're just sitting in like the waiting room.
they're sitting there in the waiting room. Not only are they in the waiting room, but another customer who I don't want to say I eat breakfast with her every morning, but she's always at the place at Frisch's with me,
Right.
like at another table, like having breakfast as well. She's always there, and she just so happens to come in today too and get some work done. So she's in there, and we're talking, blah, 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 and they show up. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to walk outside because these fuckers are weird, and I want to try to avoid them as much as possible.
Right.
So I walk outside, and I'm out there for maybe like 20 minutes or so. And I come back in. As soon as I walk in, they walk outside. And I'm like, this is going to work out fucking great.
Right.
Like, as long as they stay on schedule here, we can just rotate every 20 minutes,
Right.
and I won't have to talk to these people. So I go in and I sit down, and the other girl that was there, she was like, I thought they were going to have sex right here in the middle of the floor. And I was like,
Holy shit.
what? And she was like, yeah, when you walked outside, they started sucking face and started
Did
going
he have to
at
like
it.
pull his teeth out of his mouth? For his piss?
No, surprisingly, I think he had all his teeth. And I'm like,
come right out.
are you fucking serious? She's like, yeah. And I was like, well, what the fuck did they do? And she was like, well, I wasn't trying to look, but I noticed like she kept whipping her titty out and
No shit.
and grabbing his dick. And I'm like, and they were doing this right here, like in the waiting room? She was like, yeah. And I was like, well, you know how to put a stop to that. I was like, just next time they do it, just start licking your lips and ask if you can get in on some of that. She didn't do that.
They'd probably be like, well, hell, why not?
Is this how they do it in the big city?
Right. We're getting all gentrified up in here.
So that right there was another big red flag. So, you know, they came back in, and I had some work I had to do, so I couldn't really walk outside and avoid them. But, like, they were just talking about randomest-ass shit. Just weird stuff, you know, like, yeah, my mama, blah, 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 and yeah, my cousin Jesse, blah, 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 this and that, and all that, and blah. And it's like, oh, my God.
That's another
Seriously.
thing, too. They talk constantly.
Oh, yeah. They didn't shut up the whole time they were there.
There were people like that. They're
They're
always that way.
They're out in the new and wonderous
They're
world.
always that way. Like, they never shut up.
Yeah.
Because they got nobody else to talk to but like their horses and cows and shit.
They all fucking know each other in little places. I've been in a town that was population 200 and something, and damned if everybody didn't know fucking everybody in that town.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that. Oh, that's so and so, and that's so and so.
Yeah, they knew every little thing about
shit,
him.
You can't get away with anything. I wouldn't want to grow up. No wonder you're so weird.
So, some time goes by, and keep in mind they had like a 5-hour job, and they were waiting there.
She gave him a
all
5-hour hand job in the waiting room?
No. The job that we were doing for them
Yeah.
was about a 5-hour job, so they had to sit there and wait all day. So the other girl leaves. We get her truck done, and I'm like, I'm so jealous that you get to leave, and I have to stay here. And she's like, yeah, sorry about that, but I gotta go. So she leaves.
Good luck. He's gonna finger her.
Yeah.
Thanks for the oil change.
So now it's just me and them. Okay.
Right.
When they first got there, I was standing outside, and they noticed my vape here, my Scarab from Alaska. That's where they're from. They're made in Alaska and shipped all around the world.
Right.
He made a comment about it, and I was like, oh, yeah, thanks, you know.
He knew it was made in Alaska?
Well, no. He's like, nice vape, man.
All right.
Oh, he knew it was a vape. He wasn't like, what's that smoky contraption?
Right. Apparently,
Andy, come look at this. Barney, come check this out.
It's like a hand choo-choo.
Apparently, he's a vapor as well.
Okay.
So at this point, you know,
But he vapes meth.
obviously.
Straight up.
So now it's just me and them, okay?
Right.
And I'm sitting there at my desk, and like, if you've ever been to my work, there's like a wall, there's like a counter, and I sit underneath the counter to avoid people like this,
Right.
okay? I'm sitting there and I'm minding my own business. I'm not talking to nobody. He's sitting in one of the high chairs there at the bar, at the counter, if you will.
Right.
And she comes up and she grabs his vape and she slams it down on the counter. She's like, "That's his vape right there." And I kind of peep I kind of peep over the counter and I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's a nice one." So
Mighty
I can see you just looking at a piece of yeah, that's a nice one.
Like, that shit's weak. What the
Right
fuck?
back to my shit right here. Please don't talk to me.
That's a
that's
mighty
kind of how I
fine
did
piece
it,
of
really.
equipment.
You're not even writing. You're just scribbling shit on a piece of paper. Drawing puppy dogs and shit. I look busy, motherfucker. Talk to me.
So here,
Shit's weak.
what happened next led to the first of many, well, of a few memorable quotes that I would like to share with you guys.
Okay.
Me being the guy that I am, anytime somebody wants to talk vape stuff, I'm always all for it.
I would have already busted out a recorder and just started recording.
I should have done that. I should have recorded them.
I would have just put my
been
phone
great.
on the counter. And just keep talking. People are never gonna believe this shit. I'm posting this on Facebook.
So after she slams his down, she's like, "Yeah, here's his vape." I'm like, "Yeah, it's a nice one." And then I pull mine out because I just like to show it off. And I'm like, "Yeah, this is a 3-cell lipo from Scarab Box Mods. They're out of Alaska. They're custom made,
Right.
you know." and they're all like, "Wow, that one's really nice." And she goes on to tell this elaborate story about how her cousin collects all kinds of vapes,
Right.
and you can't walk into his room without seeing his big shelf of like 10 vapes
Right.
and all his juice and stuff. I got the twang going on right now. But I'm sitting there, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, it's cool, yeah, whatever." And I sit back down, and they start talking back and forth. And apparently what really got her attention was the fact that I was talking about Alaska. And I wasn't looking at her when she said it.
Please don't say she asked if it's a state.
No.
I was going to say that.
I'm sitting there, and she's like, "I've been to Antarctica, but I'd never go to Alaska."
Oh my God.
She goes, "I ain't getting eaten by no polar bear." And first off, keep in mind, this girl, if she's even 18, has probably had the most sheltered life out of anybody I've ever seen in my life.
How about Antarctica? What the fuck?
And now she's
Well,
like,
you got some
With a
scientific
statement like that, I'm
expedition.
surprised you made it back, honey. Welcome home.
She's on some scientific expedition.
Trying to find the best meth in the world.
that's what boggled my mind. My mind was like, how the fuck?
It said they got
does
a lot of
she
ice
get to
down
Antarctica?
here.
I wonder how you go from Carrollton, Kentucky
To
to
Antarctica.
Antarctica. Like, what was
Right.
that conversation like?
Yeah.
How did that shit even come up? Was that like somebody came home with like a AAA book, like, I want to go to the Antarctica? Yeah. Does that sound good, everybody? Yeah.
Hey,
all
Billy,
right, let's
can
go.
I pronounce this
And then-
continent?
And then they get up there and it's like, fuck, it's all snow.
Yeah.
It's cold.
I couldn't imagine how this girl would have ended up in Antarctica.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
But she wouldn't go to
I
Alaska.
can't believe.
Yeah,
I
but she
can't,
won't go
I
to
can't
Alaska.
believe she ended up in Boone County.
She made the wrong turn.
Hello, that fucking Antarctica.
She's like, I thought your fucking auto shop was in Antarctica. What the
So let me
fuck?
get this straight. You've been on a plane to Antarctica, but you've never
Been
been
on the interstate, yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's,
Yes. First time to interstate.
Son of a bitch, man.
Well, the second time. First time we drove all the way to Antarctica.
We took the back roads. He was
Right,
scared of the
right,
highway.
right.
He don't like it when the trucks go
Took
by.
the rural route.
So after that whole ordeal, and I'm listening to him
man.
and her babble on and on and on, they start talking about her mama.
Oh.
This was her mama's car before she sold it to him, and she did all kinds of work on it. Well, it kept going on and on and on about her mama.
Let's talk about how good her fried chicken is and shit.
No. And based off this next statement, I don't think she's eating fried chicken. She goes on to tell, I'm assuming it's her boyfriend, okay?
Well, he
fingered her in the
way.
body. I mean,
he just finger fucked her in the fucking couch in the waiting room.
So
checked her oil.
I would hope that there's something going on there.
She, like I said,
they have common interests.
Yeah.
She's going on and on
Most
about her
definitely.
mama. And the one thing that stuck out to me, she said, you know, my mama got them diabetes.
She got the D.
Them.
Yeah.
Them diabetes.
Plural.
Hey,
Apparently more
She
than
got one and two.
get ready for this, all right? Get
She
ready
got
for this.
diabetes 3.
She said, my mama got them diabetes and lost all kinds of weight. She's looking pretty good these days.
Oh my God.
Well, minus her foot.
That took about 10 pounds off of her.
She lost 45 pounds. Her foot and leg dropped off.
Now,
got to be kidding me.
I didn't know that diabetes was like this new miracle diet that everybody was
Well, what
supposed to be
happens
getting.
is-
Diabetes, man. Come on now.
Well,
Good point.
No, that's
Good
what I
point.
said. But what happens is people get diabetes, and their doctor tells them you gotta lose weight, or you're gonna die. And
Yeah.
then they lose weight.
You lose weight. Or
Right.
you die. I mean, it's, yeah.
It's
it
like-
actually runs in my
It's
family.
like the Republicans in Illinois. Like, sure, they work together, but it's got to be a fucking cataclysm before they fucking do it. Same as diabetes. Like, yeah, they gotta lose weight. Like, they won't lose weight till you tell them you're gonna fucking die.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh shit, I better
Die or lose
weight.
die or lose a foot.
Right.
Me, I like food, so I think I'd give up a foot. like if I went to the doctor.
Like Jerry said, they got some mighty fine prosthetics nowadays.
Yeah.
What you doing, Jerry? I'm just looking for a new foot. It's all good. They want me to go on a diet, but
Gonna
fuck
give
them.
me-
I'm
gonna
losing
give
a
me one of
foot.
them.
I-
Give me one of them Pistorius blades.
Yeah.
Boing, boing,
Like,
boing.
how
boing.
much more can I eat if you just take the whole leg? You know? Like, how bad is sitting in a wheelchair? I think I could handle that.
I could put the bucket of KFC fried chicken on my lappies.
Yeah. Like, honestly, if I went to a doctor and they were like, look, you need to stop eating chicken wings,
No, but see, that's how human
or
beings
you're going to
are.
lose a leg, I'd be like, do I get to pick which leg?
No, but what I'm saying is,
I don't think you do.
That's
Probably not.
That's how human beings.
Worth it, though.
That's how human beings are by nature, right? That shows that, right? And that's what's bad about the global warming thing. Is no one's gonna do anything about it until they go, oh shit, we really gotta do something about this. But it is too fucking late.
Right. Yeah, no, that's how we solve
That's
problems in the
what
world.
I'm saying is then people never want to fucking solve a problem until it's right in their face.
Right.
And until you're burning up in your fucking front yard. Like those trash cans out in Arizona.
That's some fucked up shit.
Should have fucking told you something is going on.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's-
right then.
That's,
They should have, right then.
not good.
All the deniers should have been like, oh shit. Like, this is a fucking bad thing. Like,
Yeah. No, it's, I've always kind of felt that way. Like,
dude, did
it
you see
seems
those
like-
pictures?
It seems like
Those
we
fucking
solved.
trash cans were melted. Like,
I
you
always
could
think
see
of
the
the,
garbage.
I saw flower pots melted, too.
Yeah.
I always
Yeah.
think of the South Park episode, Captain Hindsight.
Yes.
He comes in and solves everything
Yeah,
like
yeah.
after the fact.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
See that building on fire? Well, the fire escape's in the wrong place. Like
Right,
it's,
right.
that's how we fix shit in this country. That's how we've always fixed shit. Like we wait until something is. Oh, now we realize that eating this causes cancer, so let's do something about it
Right.
instead of looking at it beforehand and ascertaining, what the pluses and the minuses are.
That's what
I
they
always
did with
think-
all these opiates. Same
Yeah.
thing. They put all these opiates on the market,
Right.
Oxycontin and shit. Hey, they give it
Take it away from them
like,
now.
Oh, it sure fucking
Now
helps
look at
pain.
what's happening.
Like, yeah, it helps
Right.
pain, but it fucking gives you much more pain afterward.
Yeah.
Speaking of drugs, okay?
But they didn't stop them.
Diabetes
Yeah.
is interesting, by the way, too. It skips a generation.
Really?
Yes, my grandmother had it. My dad did not. My aunt does not. My dad's sister. None of her kids have it. I feel like I'm destined to probably be the one that they're gonna be like, yo, you know all that sugar and shit that you like? Yeah, no more. That's my big fear. That
would be my life.
I would have to think about a foot. I don't know. I'm almost kind of with Jerry on this one.
When you change your name to Stumpy,
Stumpy guy.
When you think about it, though, they do have some really nice prosthetics out there.
It makes you go blind though too, if you're not careful. I know somebody who actually lost a foot and went blind, and that's not a pleasant. Dude,
I know people in my own family that like.
I'd rather lose my hearing than my eyesight any day of the week.
No, but I'm saying they have the diabetes and they're obese, and like they didn't
do nothing about it.
Yeah, they just
continue
get worse
on.
and worse.
Yeah, continue on.
As for the blindness, I think that would actually help my love of food, because if some things don't look right, I won't eat it. If I can't see it,
senses.
Yeah, if I can't see it to know that it looks fucking weird, I'm probably more likely to try it.
See, I love to read. I value that. I value being able to read a book.
Well,
funny you say that.
Jerry should start blindfold dining.
Funny you say you like to read. If you did happen to go blind, you could always go to audibletrial.com/KYHBD and get a free 30-day trial of the Audible audiobook service, plus a free audiobook download.
I like that.
So, see, I'm covering all the corners here, man.
Yeah, you're good, I guess.
Yeah. Fuck diabetes, man. Bring it on. I'm set. I'm set, dude. I'm eating chicken wings for life. But no, back to you were talking about drugs and stuff like that. I couldn't decide if this girl was on drugs or if she was, like, mentally not all there.
Does she have that, like, Mallory Knox, like, vibe going on?
In a creepy way, she kind of did.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like I even posted, like,
darling.
I've never felt uncomfortable when a female has, like, looked at me. I didn't know if she wanted to, like, jump my bones and get her some of this D, or if she wanted to, like, eat my face, or both. Like the looks that this chick would give me,
massive drug.
We're frightening, and I'm not an easy guy to scare.
I'm never going to Carrollton. I'm never.
No. I mean, I've been
got a Walmart.
You know what? Carrollton is kind of like what you were talking about. Like, it's a real small town.
Yeah.
Everyone's either related or they know each other. And, everybody knows everybody.
That's my cousin.
Everybody knows their fucking business.
Yeah,
yeah. He's got a farm on down the, way there.
All right, we're getting some heat
comments,
here from our YouTube viewers.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, Bruce, that was the first one. Then we got Dallas Felony Ring says, hey, Bruce, it's Brandon from over on the Tool page. Just wondering if you saw your boy Cap hanging out in Africa with his people 2 weeks before training camp, no lies. Hashtag I'm out of
a job, LOL.
Oh, I'm out of a job, LOL. And he says, he comments again after that, he says, is it a prerequisite for an edgy comedian to chain smoke cigarettes? Just a question. Then he goes on to say, will Bruce Leonard answer a question for me? I mean, 7 viewers, 7 comments. I feel like I'm sitting in the room. Answer the questions for him. Did you see?
I did see.
Your boy
see Kaepernick. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck he was doing.
He pulled a Dave Chappelle.
I just saw a picture of him.
Right.
I didn't see like the video. There's a video or something. But I mean, yeah, he was doing. He was doing a Chappelle, I guess. I don't really know what he's doing. It seems like he's losing his mind.
He's not signed by anybody, is he? You're talking about Colin Kaepernick.
Nobody's gonna sign him to a football team because of what he did.
Yeah.
Not standing for the anthem or whatever. So.
I think that's a little crazy. The guy's got better numbers than some of the guys out there.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And I think if you're an owner of a team,
he's just as good as.
If you're an owner of a team, are you dedicated to winning?
Brandon Whedon, you know what I mean?
I'd
rather have Colin Kaepernick than Brandon Whedon.
The way he did it wasn't really disrespectful, though. He took a knee. That was it. You know what I mean?
I didn't think it was a big deal. I made a big deal out of it.
I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
I mean, he didn't do it disrespectful. He didn't like flip it off, say fuck
that.
No. He took a knee and that was it.
Yeah. Well, he didn't help himself with wearing them socks with pigs on them and shit.
Well, down the road, I think ex post facto he did some things maybe like after it.
But the point is, he did something to draw attention to something, and he got people talking about it, and so mission accomplished on a certain level. But he sacrificed his career for it.
You have to make sacrifices. Like, I'm willing to sacrifice a
I
leg
don't
for
think,
chicken wings.
I don't think that, I don't think it
Yeah,
should be
you got
like
a
that.
point.
Though, is what I'm saying. Remember when those guys won the gold medal in the Olympics and they all did the black
That was like
fist?
72.
Yeah.
And like I mean, people historically have done these things. Where Muhammad Ali fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. He went to jail for not going to Vietnam.
Right.
And like,
Yeah.
he sacrificed. You know, he could have fought a lot more, but he was in jail.
That was.
So
What I'm saying is, historically, people have done these things. Protest. Well, I don't think what he did shouldn't cost him his job. I mean, but that's the thing about freedom of speech. That's the thing that's going on with the troll, the Reddit troll.
I saw you
guy,
post that
CNN,
today. Yeah.
Is
Yeah, I've seen that.
freedom of speech works both ways. Like, yeah, he's free to say that, but his employers are also free to fire him.
right.
True.
You know,
That's
so
their right.
That's how it works. So when you operate that way, you have to understand that, and you have to understand the consequences. That's why I don't have any pity for this troll. If the troll guy would have used his own name and post all this hateful shit, then that's fine. You can say all the fucking hateful shit you want. But if you make a fucking fake screen name, you start posting hateful shit, and somebody finds out who you are and says they're going to print your name in the fucking paper because the president tweeted your shit out.
Right.
First of all, you wouldn't be having this conversation if Trump hadn't put him there.
No,
Like,
fuck
Right.
no.
Like, Trump put him in the spotlight
Yeah.
by fucking tweeting his shit out on the
Right.
presidential fucking
Nobody
account.
would.
Trump,
None of us would be
Trump should
talking
invite
about
him to the White House, I think.
Well,
That's like a wrestling
but
match.
that's the thing is he doesn't want people to know who he is.
Yeah.
See, because
Hell no, the
because
motherfucker doesn't wanna
if
lose his
people
job like Colin
no,
Kaepernick.
but listen, well, not even that. He'll lose his family and
I'm
friends.
sure.
Because the point is, everyone thinks that this CNN meme, it's nothing. No, yeah, it's nothing. But he also had a bunch of fucking Jew hating shit and Muslim hating shit.
Yep.
Like he's all right troll. So he's posted all this hateful shit, but he doesn't want his family and friends, because that was his apology. The same thing. His apology that he issued is the same bullshit apology they all give. Well, I got black friends, I got black friends, Mexican friends. Yeah, you wouldn't have those friends if they fucking knew what you were doing online.
You are 100%.
Like, he doesn't want the people. That's why he deleted all of his account, because he don't want his family and friends to see what he's been doing. Because
I
nobody
think
knew
it was
that he
CIA
was. No
until
one
in
knew
case
that
they
he was
decide to
Han
release his
Solo, whatever, until fucking he got outed by Trump.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So that's the
I'd
gig,
ru-
and
I'd
you
fucking
see
run
what
with
those
that shit
trolls are
down.
like. They fucking crawl right back under the rock where they fucking came from. You put the fucking light on them.
I tell you, if Trump retweeted
That's why I
anything
don't like
I ever
those
put up,
trolls, and
I'd
I've
fucking
got no
run with
fucking sympathy for them. Because I said, at least
I'd
when
be worried if he retweeted anything I have on Twitter.
dude, I
Like,
tweet.
what? You play Battlefield 1 too on Twitch? Oh, fucking cool. Get in my lobby, motherfucker. I'm going to teabag the shit out of you.
it. What's funny is if he ever retweeted anything from me, it would most likely be like chicks getting cereal eaten out of their ass,
Or pissed on.
or like
Well, he's
piss
kind of
videos.
into that, though.
Exactly.
Good
Chuck
possi-
Berry on the loop.
could
I like to
possibly
do that.
be.
I like you
I
do
like
that.
to do that.
Yeah.
I like to do that.
We gotta make that.
No, what was the second question?
Second question was, where's it out here? Is it prerequisite for an edgy comedian to chain
of
smoke
course it is.
cigarettes?
Yes,
Yeah, definitely.
without a doubt.
He just asked about the. It's funny because we were just talking about this.
Yeah,
before the
Mayweather
show,
McGregor,
the
yeah.
Mayweather McGregor fight.
There we go.
And
I'm
going
kinda-
McGregor,
I'm
so.
going McGregor. I think
You
if
going
McGregor-
McGregor?
I think
Yeah.
if McGregor
Are you
gets his
serious?
hands on him, he's gonna
But
fuck
he ain't
him
gonna
up.
get his hands on him.
But he
I
might.
don't think he's going to
Floyd
get
is
near
the
him.
greatest runner of all time.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what he does.
he's
He
the
run-
Usain Bolt of boxing.
Yeah, yes,
I mean,
yes. That's how much he runs.
I'm
I'm
a
gonna
guy,
have to
so I'll go
disagree with you
McGregor.
on that.
He's the greatest of not getting punched. Like,
I've never seen a motherfucker not get hit in boxing like Floyd Mayweather.
Yes.
Let me just put it that way.
Well, I was gonna say I'm gonna have to disagree with you on like the Usain Bolt comment. Since I'm looking at type 2 diabetes and losing a leg, I'm going with my boy Oscar Pistorius.
that's right.
You're going to shoot your wife in the bathroom?
If that's what it takes, man. Nobody comes between me and my chicken wings. Never. But he's not a better runner than Pistorius.
His only chance is to like bully him into the corner somehow.
I think that's what he's going to try to do.
Beat the shit out of him.
I think it'd be funny if in the middle of the fight he just roundhouses Mayweather.
But Floyd, it's a boxing.
Like, oh shit!
It's a boxing match. So all Floyd's got to do if he gets pushed into the corner is grab a hold of him, and then the referee will break it up, and then he fucking gets out of the corner, and then maybe another 10 minutes trying to get him back into the corner.
Well, I mean,
McGregor's got some power though, man.
I think if McGregor gets a good one on him,
gives
him some chin music. Oh yeah, Mayweather's going to go down.
Yeah.
But the question is he going to be able to catch Mayweather?
Right.
And that motherfucker's been running around the ring for how many years now?
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
Now, going back to what you said.
Granted, he's 40. Granted, there's a big age difference.
McGregor's also not a real boxer.
But McGregor, let's just be real clear here. Floyd Mayweather may be 40, and I'm going to go on a limb here. But I'm willing to bet he's in better shape than all four of us put together. It's kind of my point.
I think if we all four jumped him, we could take him.
I think he'd run away from us.
If you get your hands on him, that's it. He's a slippery motherfucker.
Barry talked about jumping Adrian Broner one time. Fuck that. Fuck. You can jump him if you want. I'll just stand there and watch.
We'll hold him down, man.
Hold on. Let me get my camera out.
Yeah. Now, going back to what you said, halfway through the fight, he slips up and he fucking roundhouse kicks him.
I think that'd be hilarious.
That would be worth him losing the fight.
That's worth like a fucking $100 pay-per-view, by the way.
I agree. Yeah.
His mouthpiece just flies out his mouth.
Like Rocky and shit.
Yeah, like his chin goes.
I think that would be
have fun driving that Bugatti, motherfucker.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think I don't know, man. I mean, I'm a boxing fan. Like I grew up in the era of Tyson.
Right.
Where, a guy the bell would ring and 90 seconds later there was somebody on the canvas and it wasn't Tyson.
I'm the greatest fighter of all time.
He was amazing. I can remember.
You're like, man, I gotta take a piss. Like, fight's over. What the fuck?
I used to say to watch a Tyson fight, you need a shot glass of your favorite beverage, 3 pieces of popcorn, and if you fucking look away, the fight's gonna be over.
That's pretty
because
much
that was a Tyson fight. And there's been nobody like him in boxing since. You kind of maybe hope Mayweather might fill that role, but Mayweather's all the flat. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's pound for pound, he's one of the fastest guys I've ever seen in the ring. But I think this is kind of like I think boxing's last attempt.
He's not
to try and because I think UFC is really kind of taking over. Boxing by far. And I like boxing a little more than I like UFC. I don't mind UFC, but 2 things that I have a hard time. One, lot of fucking crotch in the face, which just fucking bugs me.
It's just kind of like
let me just stick my nuts in your face while I pound your forehead. I'm just kind of like I don't know how
lots of dudes.
I don't know how fair.
Where are all the boobies?
I don't know how fair that is. And I watched a guy get kicked in the knee once, and they kept showing it, and it was like the Joe Theismann break.
Oh yeah.
And I was like. Oh,
Anderson Silva?
Yeah, I just, whoa, are you kidding me, man? Like, that's some hardcore shit. It's one thing to watch a dude get knocked out with some fucking gloves on. It's another to watch a guy's knee go 16 ways that it ain't supposed to go.
Then he tried to stand on it.
Yeah, I mean, it was,
so good. Yeah. So good.
So, as a boxing fan, I would say I think this is also maybe like boxing's last attempt, or it's not never going to go away, but they're trying to put boxing by doing this fight kind of in the public eye again. Like boxing is a real sport. Boxing can be entertaining. It can be fun.
Mayweather is one of the reasons why boxing isn't as popular as it should be, because he ducked Pacquiao all them times. If he would have made them fights, boxing would have been popular still. And
but boxing also needs another, I don't want to say Tyson, but they need another Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard. There needs to be somebody like that.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, because he didn't fight Pacquiao in his prime.
Right.
Boxing suffered for it.
Yeah,
The 2 best fighters at that time never fought.
Never fought. And they didn't fight till later on.
That's awful. By the time they fought, they were past the prime.
Right.
It's like, this is not a real,
Yeah, this isn't, I know what you're saying.
Because he was afraid Pacquiao to beat him up when he was younger.
Oh, Pacquiao would have
kicked his ass.
No, I'm saying, like, he couldn't have run from Pacquiao.
No.
No.
So, I think boxing is still trying to maybe, like, Mayweather's all they got, though, like, in terms of, like, just marketability and things like that.
Who else is there boxing?
I couldn't name.
Who the fuck is boxing?
Yeah.
Klitschko?
Other Adrian Broner. That's it.
Yeah, but you only
that's
know
enough.
him because he's from here.
Right.
If you weren't from here, you go, who the fuck?
Who the fuck is he? Right.
If you,
I think he's just a Mayweather wannabe.
I know
to me,
more.
honestly.
I know more WWE
if you went to
entertainers than I do boxers.
I'm just saying, if you went to another state and you walked around and asked people, who's Adrian Broner? People go, who? I bet you.
Oh yeah.
Most people go,
He's
who
a
the fuck is
dishwasher
that?
over at the steakhouse.
Unless they're a hardcore boxing fan.
Right, but
In
you know
which
what I'm
case,
saying.
then
But
they might have heard of
those
him.
are few and far between nowadays.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
It's all MMA, man.
You don't meet those people. Yeah,
Don't get me wrong. I'll watch it. I don't dislike
That's
it,
what I'm
but like
saying. More people
I'm
know
always
who
like,
Ronda
what am I gonna
Rousey
see
is
somebody's
than her.
arm just like in a Jackie Chan movie where he snaps it right here, and it's man,
Yeah.
I can't fucking imagine.
Did you see where that girl shit her pants a couple weeks ago?
Yes, I did.
She's sponsored by Dude Wipes. She's not even a dude.
Her tweet the next day was "shit happens." No joke.
Was it
That
really?
was her joke.
That's awesome.
She's taking it totally in stride. She's like, sometimes shit happens. Like, no shit.
She should ate that protein bar,
Oh,
man.
man.
I was sitting there on the couch upstairs watching the
choke the shit out
fights
of
with my wife, and we're sitting there watching it, and I'm like, "Holy shit!" It's like that blood turned brown awfully quick because like
That's the thing I hate.
she
He's
was
like,
bleeding.
Dude, those
you know?
guys are rolling around on that mat.
Yeah.
There's blood, spit, sweat,
Shit.
fucking shit now. Yeah, like there's all kind. That shit is gross.
It
You're
is
like,
gross.
It's like gladiators.
No, but I'm saying though, if you're in the main event fight, there's already been
Take
how
your
many
shit
fights?
before you go out
No,
there.
I'm saying how many
Yeah.
fights have gone on in
Oh,
that
yeah,
ring
yeah.
by the time you go in there to fight. So like by the time you hit the ground, you're rolling around on
A lot of stuff, man.
Yeah,
A lot
it's
of
disgusting.
A lot of stuff.
Blood, fucking sweat, fucking spit.
My
That's
question is, what goes through your head? It's like, do I tap out or
It's
do I shit
disgusting.
my pants? You know what I mean? Like, what a decision.
I just shit my pants. One, I would hope that the other person would like get away from me, and two, it's my shit. I'll roll around in it if I want to.
Or like, what if she's on the ground? Like, I just shit myself. Fuck off, bitch. You gonna roll in that shit? You know what I mean? Is that what she was saying? You think?
I mean, I would talk shit like that. I'd be like, "You're rolling around in my shit, you stinky bitch." I'd talk all kinds.
Did
of
they
shit.
tap her out? Was that how the fight ended? Did she end by getting choked out? And she like
she
shit and then
almost-
get choked out, or was she?
She was
getting choked out.
She was getting choked
She was
out
getting-
hard,
Yeah.
but she like got out of it, and then they started rolling around, and that's when we noticed the shit on the mat.
What it was, she was.
So they continued.
she
That's
shit.
a tough lady.
No, but I'm saying-
that's somebody.
She shit when she was getting choked. I guarantee you.
Well, it was. She
Like,
had. She was. She had her legs. The chick had her legs around her abdomen, and she was squeezing.
That's what I'm saying.
So yeah,
Yeah,
she wasn't
yeah.
choking on her neck. She was squeezing on her abdomen.
Right.
So that's
Oh.
Yeah.
probably what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Squeeze the shit.
Yeah.
Like
I wonder if
like a tube of toothpaste.
I thought I was empty.
I'm waiting for like the day like the chick's like on the rag or something, and like she gets kicked like right in the crotch, and then you see blood splatter. And you're like, holy shit, what was that? Next thing you know, they're like, did her mouthpiece fly out? No, that was her tampon.
That's her tampon.
It got hung on Katie's ankle bracelet. I don't know. I don't even know if that's a thing in UFC. Probably can't wear UFC or wear ankle bracelets. Whatever. in
I would
UFC.
think jewelry not.
I can't
Right.
imagine. Just
I mean, you're rolling around.
I got news for you too. If she's got a boyfriend, that's you don't fuck with that girl. That's all I'm saying.
Oh,
That's
right.
what I was
She
saying.
wins every argument from then on out.
I'm not
Right.
every.
Let me
no.
tell you, you can't
Before
come.
that,
You can't come home from work as her husband and be like, "Honey, I had a bad day." Really? Because I shit my pants.
They had a really
not
shitty
that,
day.
Really?
but I'm saying even that, like people used to say all the time, "Oh, Ronda Rousey's so hot," or whatever. It's like, dude, do you really want to date a chick that could kick the shit out of you? You're like,
put you
you're
in a
like,
headlock,
you better
giving
do
you
those
these-
dishes. Like, I don't feel like doing the dishes. What'd you say? I said, I'm doing them right now.
Say uncle. Say uncle.
Yeah,
say
it's
uncle.
like, fuck, man.
Tell me you love me. Got your arm
You
behind
got
your back.
no
and shit.
leverage in that relationship. None. None.
To answer
Unless
your
you got
question,
a
truthfully,
fucking
Bruce,
12-inch cannon.
hey,
I let Paige Van Zandt
Yeah.
beat me up.
I would let a lot of those UFC fighter
I
chicks
know.
beat me
That's
up.
what I said. We had this conversation.
You'd
I don't
have
care.
to. You'd have to. You
Oh
wouldn't.
no, I would want it to
You'd
happen.
be a true
Yeah.
cuck. True cuck.
No.
Maybe your woman's just bossing you around.
Ain't a
and shit.
cuck where you watching somebody fuck your chick?
Yeah, a cuck would be.
Get out there and
more of that,
mow
yeah.
the fucking lawn. He's like, yes, honey.
Make me. Come here,
Right,
motherfucker.
Right, exactly.
I'll fucking make you shit yourself.
You come home from work. She puts you in a headlock. Who's my little boy?
Yeah,
Who's my
that's
little
what I'm saying,
boy?
dude. You can't fucking date a chick like
Uncle. She dares you
got
to
no-
put
I
your tongue on the fucking pole in the middle
that.
of winter time.
You got no leverage, dude. None. You're never gonna win an argument. Never.
No.
I tell you what, you're ever in a fight with a woman, you grab her like a fucking 6-pack. You know what I'm talking about?
Like you do the bowling ball?
Bowling ball.
Yeah, dude.
One in the thumb, one in the puss hole, man. They'll quit doing whatever the fuck they're doing
He
real
trumped her.
quick.
He
Trump
trumped
her.
him. Yeah, pussy grab.
Yeah. You do that, it's over, dude.
It's the TPG.
The pussy
Give her the Trump pussy grab. The old TPG.
You got to move on her like a bitch, though.
You gotta do it. When you do it, you go China.
Blood coming out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, how did we get here?
I'm gonna go back here to our YouTube feed here.
It's just blowing it up.
Blowing
man.
up. Dallas Felony Ring. He's just fucking destroying it here. A friend of mine from Minnesota is watching. Hi, Kendra. I don't know if she's still watching, but I told her I'd comment back to her. She commented. Let's see here. He's talking Mayweather stuff. Yeah, all kinds.
What are
of
they
stuff.
saying about Mayweather? Who do they like?
Mayweather
say?
waited until he knew Manny could be beaten.
Yes, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Manny would have knocked his ass out.
I wish Tyson still fought.
He
even
would
though
be
he's too
49
old.
and
I
1
know.
or whatever his fucking record. You know,
Oh,
he
yeah.
wanted that 0 on his record. That's why he.
Yeah, he might lose it this go round. I don't know.
Dude, that's
This
the thing,
guy's
I
got
said-
20 years on him.
Do you
Got
remember?
almost
Do you
20
remember
years
when
on him.
Sugar
He's
Ray
got a
Leonard
longer
fought
relationship.
Hagler?
Oh yeah.
Like and when Hearns and Leonard would fight, dude, those were brutal fucking fights. And those Sugar Ray could run with the best
Sugar
of
Ray
them.
Sugar
But
Ray was fast.
he would also stand in the middle of the ring and
Yes, he
fucking
would.
fight.
Yes, he would.
But Floyd never does.
No, Floyd does not
Floyd
do that.
never stands.
I've
and
never
fights.
seen him really like toe to toe.
No, he doesn't do
Just
that.
come out and duke it out.
He runs the whole fucking time. That's why I don't like watching his fights. 'Cause he's a puss.
I like
really.
watching him
I
just
mean,
to see if maybe
to
somebody
say-
might get a hold of his
To say a
ass.
professional
Exactly.
fighter is a puss is kind of funny to say, but it's like, dude, he's a puss as far as
Yeah.
a boxer goes. He won't stand and fight nobody. He
No.
fucking runs.
No, he does.
The whole time.
He's
It's like, dude, I ain't paying to watch some guy run. I
mean,
go to fucking.
I pay
I
$100
could
to
go.
get kicked in the
I
jaw
could go
by
hang
a
I
out.
watch cops.
I could go hang out outside of a high school and watch kids run all day.
If I want to see a black dude run, I'd watch cops, okay?
Oh, you know what I mean? It's like,
That's kind of creepy, Bruce. I mean, is Chris Hansen going to walk through the curtain?
Weird.
no, I just mean I just always
Did
some
anybody
kid
bring
getting bullied
cookies?
by a bunch of
Lemonade?
other
That
kids
kid, he's
who's
the next
trying to run away.
Mayweather.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the
Look
next
how he
Mayweather.
runs away. Come here, kid. You got a future.
Can you put these gloves on and run
Yeah,
around in a
yeah,
circle?
exactly. You're pretty good at running.
Yeah, I am. I don't know. I still would probably bet Mayweather. If I was going to bet the fight, I'd bet one amount on Mayweather and then bet a little bit more on McGregor. On the off chance he gets a hold of him.
I
think right
if
now it's in
McGregor gets his
Mayweather's
hands on him.
favor. I think right now Mayweather. It's
Oh,
in
yeah,
his
he's a
favor.
favorite.
Yeah, he's a favorite because he's actually got experience.
Yeah,
You know, he's not like McGregor is kind of like
he just knocks motherfuckers out.
Yeah. What was the dude that
Well,
went from
he's what you
WWE
call it,
to UFC?
From what I
and got his
understand,
ass
I've
handed to
I've
him?
CM
seen some
Punk?
of his like fights.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yeah, right now, McGregor is like the CM Punk going
boxing.
into boxing.
okay.
You know, CM Punk was the WWE guy who was
Right,
like, "Yeah,
right.
I'm quitting this shit. I'm gonna go UFC fight," and he didn't fight anybody. And like his first fight was like a guy that was pretty decent.
Yeah, he got his
And
ass
he got his
kicked.
ass
Got his
kicked
ass
bad.
kicked, right.
Yeah.
The dude he fought was actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
No,
Hey,
but
hold on, man. This ain't supposed to hurt.
yeah.
When I go like this, that just means put me in a headlock and then I'm gonna jump up and down. Stop fucking hitting me.
How come I can't bounce off the ropes?
Right.
How do I I can't
Right,
suplex
right.
him. I
Right,
can't
no
suplex him,
suplex.
ref.
He won't stand here while I hold his head.
But
No,
I think that's how.
Well, wait, I don't
kinda
understand.
How
I thought
McGregor
that this
feels.
is not just a one-off.
do
He's
you
really.
mean?
He's
Does he really think about going into
No, I was
boxing?
just
That's
saying,
my
is
question.
Is he really leaving?
No, I think it's
UFC
a
and
one-off.
going
He
into
ain't
boxing?
gonna leave UFC.
It'll probably just be a one. I guarantee you, if McGregor beats him, Mayweather will want a rematch.
Well,
Let me ask you
and
this:
he'll
which
get
one do you which between boxing and UFC in terms of like the people that the people, not just these two guys, which one do you think they make more money at?
Now I think they just make more money at UFC now.
Yeah, UFC.
Then he
they
would.
make
I
more
don't
money.
see him leaving UFC.
No,
No.
not at all.
No,
There's too much money
he
at
makes,
stake.
He makes
And,
more money.
unless
Yeah.
you're Mayweather, you're not making more money than the dudes at UFC.
Right. I got you. I got
Yeah.
you. Right.
Yeah, the only person in boxing makes money is fucking Mayweather. That's
Right.
it.
Okay.
That dude's worth billions. Like I think I looked it up to see how much Mayweather's won, of course, in his career. But he's had a pretty long career. He's made $1 billion. I think it was like $1 billion.
He's got 3
something like that.
Bugattis.
Yeah, and then McGregor.
Can you imagine what his fucking insurance is?
Yeah, I think McGregor's only won.
I'm
like
not impressed that
40
he owns 3
million.
Bugattis. I'm impressed that you can keep up with the fucking insurance payments.
Not even
That's
that.
like,
Not even that. He has like millions of dollars worth of jewelry.
oh,
Well, yeah, and
Like-
he's got rappers as his entourage.
No,
like
that's
his
what I'm
rappers suck his dick.
that's
It's
just
like
3 of
50
his
Cent.
cars.
Yeah.
That's just 3 of his cars. I think he's got like a fleet. He's
Yeah.
got at least 7 cars.
He's got private
Because the way I
jets.
understood, I read a thing about him. He wanted
Barracudas.
a different car for every day of the week. A different exotic car for every day of the week. This guy.
I have a hard enough time.
He's
driving
got busted
2
throwing out
different
fake
cars.
money though at the club though.
What?
Did you guys hear about that? Yeah, he got busted throwing out fake bills at
Who
the
the
club.
fuck
Was he
throwing
throwing
out
out
fake-
Monopoly cash?
No, it was like fake money. Like he was
That's
just throwing it
fucking
out.
bullshit.
Like the strippers. Yeah.
What a tight wad.
Wow.
Y'all
Yeah,
didn't hear that?
but-
Yeah.
He's a billionaire, fucking throwing out fake.
You think he
fucking
knew? You think he knew it was fake, or you think?
I
it was
think
like,
he knew. I think he
You
knew.
think he knew?
Yeah.
I would never throw out fake money, especially to a stripper. I think a stripper can
Costs a
spot-
lot of money to make
fake
fake
money
money, and if I
quicker
got that
than a
kind of
banker.
money, I'm not going to waste it making fake money.
Yeah. So I don't know how
Yeah.
good it looked. Someone just told me this. I'm not for sure if it's true. but
Nah,
they
wait a
told me
minute
it's
now.
pretty legit.
Okay, wait.
I'm sorry, I didn't check my sources.
That's
I fucking pulled a CNN on you
That's
guys.
some hearsay shit.
That's how a lot of news channels get away with stuff.
Exactly.
They say stuff like, an unconfirmed force or allegedly.
Yeah.
Force?
Yeah.
No.
What?
Anonymous
Force?
source.
Force?
Is it a force or source?
Source.
I think you said unconfirmed force.
Yeah. The
It
Star
may have
Wars?
sounded
An
like
unconfirmed force.
Told us some secret
Yeah,
shit
told us-
that nobody else knows, and it was just a voice.
right, like, oh, and I'm on peyote right now.
Oh, man. But fuck McGregor.
Back to
Fuck
sports.
Mayweather, man. McGregor. So I'm picking.
All right,
Hey,
well,
Speaking
so we
of,
got 2 Mayweathers and we got 2 McGregors.
right.
All right.
I just
No, don't get me wrong.
Like I said, I think McGregor can win if he can tag
Get a
him.
hold of him,
Because
right?
Floyd also, I don't think, has a chin.
No,
No.
I
I
don't
he
think
does.
Floyd could
I've
take-
seen him get stumbled
Even if
once
he
or
pops
twice.
him once, like, real good.
I think doesn't. And the other thing is I think that Mayweather has to gain weight for this fight.
well,
It's a
no,
catch
but-
weight
McGregor has
fight.
to lose a little bit of
Yeah,
weight.
it's a catch
and it's a
weight.
way easier to lose weight than it is to gain weight when you're a
Right.
little guy. Like, believe it or not, I think I weigh more than fucking Mayweather. So, like, that'll give you an idea of or what the weight is that he has to get to by at
Right.
least 20, 25 pounds.
That's like, what's
So-
the weight
One-
class? Like
it's
150?
140.
It's like
40s? I thought it was
155 or
140s,
150, I think.
Yeah.
Like 150s, something like that, yeah.
Right
now,
around
see,
that
now
area.
that kind of does favor McGregor.
Yeah, because McGregor
Right.
fights at a 145 or.
Right.
or
So he's only got to gain a little
What
bit
is-
of weight.
what is
and
Floyd-
I think
wait,
Floyd's
but
got to
what
lose
is-
the weight or
what
something.
is he-
One of them's harder to do than the other.
What does he usually fight at, Floyd? That's what I'm saying.
Isn't he like a middleweight?
I think
That's what I thought
I
he
think
was.
he's a middleweight, yeah.
He's not a heavyweight, that's for sure.
No,
No.
he's not a heavyweight.
Those guys are the ones that knock people out. There's no good heavyweights out there these days that I know of.
That's why I think boxing
Dude, but that's
is
what I'm saying.
taking
Though,
like
like
a real
back in the
dive.
day,
That's
back
what
in the day,
boxing needs.
Marvin Hagler would knock a motherfucker out,
Yeah.
like at middleweight.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah.
Fucking-
that doesn't happen anymore.
No, I
Even
know, but
some
I'm saying,
lightweights would knock
what's
people
up with
out
that
once in a
shit?
while, but
Where are those guys? You know, like they used to be good fighters. There's lots of them.
none of them out
That's
there.
what we
nowadays.
need. And even in UFC, I think even the heavyweight fighters don't draw a big crowd like the middleweights do. I think middleweights is where it's at across the board.
For UFC, for me, what it is there hasn't been a steady, good heavyweight in a while.
Right.
You have the guy from Cleveland, Stipe Miocic. He's like the only like good heavyweight that we've had. He's won 3 fights in a row. So every heavyweight that's been winning that wins the belt, they usually win the belt and they'll lose their next fight. They'll win the belt, they'll lose their next fight. So
Right,
people don't like
you have
that.
like an extended champion.
Yeah,
Really.
people like
Yeah.
it. Yeah, people like a champion that's been champion and will like just run through like Anderson.
They
Silva,
want another Tyson.
GSP.
They need
yeah.
a Tyson in the UFC.
Exactly.
Right.
They need
Yeah.
a guy who every time he steps in the ring, it's odds are this motherfucker's gonna knock somebody out.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's what
It's gonna
that's
be
what
a
they wanted.
short-ass fight.
That's what they wanted Kimbo Slice to be, but then he got his ass kicked.
Yeah, yeah. I thought he was maybe.
But
gonna
I'm
be
saying
it.
that's what they were piping him up to be when he was coming up the pipe. There, they were like,
Yeah, but he
"Oh,
couldn't
this
wrestle.
guy, look at him!
Didn't
but
he-
he could knock people out." So they're like,
Didn't
"Oh,
he
he
pass-
knocked people out."
Didn't he die though shortly
Yeah, he
after
had a
all
heart
that
attack.
shit
He
too?
had a really
Yeah.
bad heart attack. He had really bad knees. He couldn't wrestle. Like they'd get him on his back and just
No, that's what I'm
he
saying.
boxed.
is-
But he could have boxed though. I mean, that was the
Yeah.
thing. He boxed after he left UFC, and he had a pretty decent boxing career. But he had a heart attack and just fucking his son fights MMA now and for Strikeforce, and he's pretty decent. He's not bad. I think they call him Kimbo Slice Jr. or Kimbo Jr. or some shit like that.
Jimbo.
Yeah, but
Kimbo Jr. Sounds like a sandwich.
Yeah.
Sounds like some shit you get at Quiznos.
Give me a Kimbo.
What did you like?
Give
Let
me
me
a
get a
Kimbo Jr. and a Coke.
and hold the jalapenos on that for me. Yeah, the Kimbo Jr. That sounds good. What all's on that? What all's on that? Is that? It's got ham and cheese. And bacon. It's kind of a heart attack on a bun.
Is that a brioche bun?
Would you like that warmed up? Oh, by all means, make it as greasy as possible.
so they're going to be fighting at a super welterweight. It says, and it's a 154 pounds.
Okay,
is what I'm
154
reading.
pounds. So what is?
But McGregor,
What does Floyd usually
walks
fight?
around. I think it says 135.
So he has to
Mayweather?
gain
Wow.
20
That guy
pounds.
weighs as much as
Yeah.
a small child.
No, but I'm saying, so he's got to gain 20 pounds. That's a lot of. That's
How
a lot
are
of
you
weight.
40 and weigh 135 pounds?
Dude, he's
If
not a
this
big
is
guy.
correct.
Yeah, I don't think he's very tall
No,
either.
he's a little short, skinny dude.
But he's fought super featherweight, lightweight, light welterweight, and light middleweight. So he's fought up in class, like it's.
He's
fought-
getting bigger.
Yeah, so he's fought up in classes before, so he should be able to do it.
By the time he's 50, he might be a heavyweight.
Yeah. I
My
mean,
point is just if he gains 20 pounds, if it slows him down just a little bit,
Yeah, then
and he
he
can
might
punch
get.
him. And if he can hit him, now dude will have a chance if he can hit him, because that dude hits hard.
Oh yeah.
A little bit of chin music and
No, that's what I'm
Mayweather's
saying.
fine.
Like McGregor can punch.
Yeah.
So there is that.
And I
It's
think
like,
he has
He
the
always-
reach on him too.
Yeah, and
I
he
think
always
he's got him by like 6 inches or
Yeah.
a couple, more than like an inch. So he's got the
Because
reach.
my point is, Floyd can't knock no one out.
No.
So if I was him,
Does he ever? Does he
if I
have
was,
any
if I
knockouts?
was him, I wouldn't be afraid to walk straight at him.
Does he have any
Super bad.
knockouts? Does Floyd have knockouts?
I didn't
Like a
see
couple?
that.
I think he's got a couple.
He's got 50 times. He might
No.
have 2.
Yeah,
No, I'm saying
yeah, he's got
fought
a
50
few.
times. He probably might
We've,
have 2.
We've got a bit of a request here.
What's that?
Your buddy Dallas Felony Ring, he says, enough of this jibber jabber. Let's talk about some flat earthers, trumpelos, and snowflakes. Maybe the Illuminati. I think secretly Oprah controls the world.
Harpo.
Is he on peyote?
He actually says, shit, I need more mushrooms.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Send some of that shit our way.
He was
Yeah,
on something.
I had a buddy of mine. We have a
Oprah.
old mutual friend who asked me if I was going to be your flat earther tonight.
You know,
I
No,
could
but
try, but
Adam
I don't.
West
You don't
went-
look that dumb. So
I don't even
Adam
know where
West
to
wanted
begin.
to come on and pretend to be a flat earther, but I was like, no,
I
we need
want
to
a
find a real
real-
one.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I want a
With a
real,
real
legit
honest to God-
flat earther to come on here. And I was watching, it was random. I was scrolling through, and it was like a little 3-minute Vice video. And I was like, let's they got good videos, let's watch it. And I'm listening to this guy fucking talk, and I'm like, there's no way he can be fucking serious about this shit.
Oh, they're serious.
So that little
There's
3-minute
serious people
video
out there.
led me to like YouTube, where I was watching, 45-minute documentaries on this, and I'm like, are these fucking people insane? How do they believe
pisses
this
you off,
shit?
man.
I'm stunned by this entire flat Earth movement.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know what you would call it. First of all, if it's a movement, they move too much according to their physics.
They're gonna
and
fall
philosophy,
off.
They're gonna fall off the fucking planet.
Right.
I think these are the same people that think shit like the moon landing is fake. I don't.
Yeah,
Look, on a realistic level, do you know how many fucking people you got to keep quiet to make a fake moon landing in any capacity?
That's the same thing I have with 9/11 truthers.
Yeah,
You know how many people would have to be involved to make this happen?
Right.
And you think that all of them going to keep their mouth shut? Ain't nobody going to say anything?
Yeah.
You know,
bullshit.
like, come on.
MK Ultra,
I
man.
mean, you know what I'm saying? It's fucking crazy.
Oh yeah.
No, that's not to say that the government has done fucked up shit, because they have.
Oh yeah.
And they get caught doing it too. But I always say to people,
But
you know
because
how
somebody doesn't keep their mouth
but
shut.
What I was gonna say is, I always say to conspiracy people, yeah, there was that conspiracy. You know why you know about it? Because they found out.
Right. Somebody talked.
Because it was real, and if you can't keep a fucking secret, and eventually people fucking find out if something really happened. Now, if you've been talking about something for fucking 100 years, and no one's ever fucking saying anything, and nothing ever happened, you know, 9/11. If it was a big fucking planned inside job, by now
we would know.
Somebody would have
somebody would have
said
by now. But what do you think about the Kennedy assassination? Do you think that was an inside job?
Now, the difference between 9/11 and the Kennedy assassination, I
own
always tell
theories.
people, is because you can shoot a president with only a fucking couple people involved. You don't need a bunch of
No, you don't.
It's
I always
9/11 is like, dude, you got fucking planes everywhere in the fucking 3 different cities.
Demolition.
And you got to plan the other one to land in the field. You know, it's like, dude, that shit is fucking.
It's insane.
Come on, it's insanity to think that was a fucking planned out job that happened that way.
My
but
theory,
but
I have a
like
theory
I said,
on Kennedy.
you could kill a president with
3 people.
Yeah. Like, only
Don't even need 3. You 1.
2.
It's been
Well,
done by 1.
theoretically, one guy with a gun.
One guy shot fucking Kennedy, Lincoln. So
But
I would
you know
say
what I mean.
the minimum is 1.
Even if it was like 5 people, that's
Right.
still a legitimate. Like 5 people could keep their mouth shut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, better chances of nobody talking.
But if you got 9/11's an inside job, you got to have hundreds of people involved in it. I mean,
More
a
than
lot.
that, thousands.
No, but that's what I'm saying. A lot of people in
It's
a
too
lot
many.
of places.
It's too
Like,
many.
there's no fucking way, dude. It can happen.
My
lot
theory
of things
on
gotta be
Kennedy
in sync
was
here.
that it was. I've always had 2 theories. I always felt it was a bit of the I read a book years ago called Coming Apart when I was in college. Talks about Camelot and the Kennedy assassination, and I believe part of the reason that he was assassinated was the CIA wanted their war in Vietnam, and he wasn't going to give it to them. So he already had pissed them off, and the mob didn't like his brother at all. And I think it was a combination, I want to say maybe a conspiracy between maybe the FBI, the CIA, and the mafia. I think the more plausible one, in all honesty, if you really just want to pick one, for me, it would be the mafia. And I think it was a message to politicians that, see, we can kill a president at this period in time in American history.
Right.
If you understand. The mafia, I'm a huge...
They were very powerful.
A bookshelf devoted to the mafia.
Yeah.
You have no idea. It's
They were
an
very
underground
powerful.
economy that is so ingrained in our economy even today. If you were to wipe out organized crime, I think it would have a huge effect on our economy.
Oh, yeah.
I've believed that ever since I started learning about what they really get into when it comes to, their rackets, construction, this garbage, and et cetera, et
you
cetera.
know, during World
It's
War,
insane.
During World War II, fucking, they had to use Lucky Luciano to fucking use the docks and all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Like
They went to
had
him
all
and
kinds
said,
of deals.
keep,
Right.
make sure our docks stay safe. And that was the only way the government could control what was going on in there, was to go to those people. And if that was happening in the 40s, I mean, let's be realistic. It didn't just disappear.
No.
So, I think it became more ingrained.
The mafia was powerful in the 60s and the 70s.
Still is.
They are, but
You don't hear
they've
about
been
it.
diminished, or a lot of their businesses turned
They've been diminished. but
semi-legal.
They've been diminished as well. But in place of them now, you have the Asian mafia moving in.
Right.
The Russian mafia moving in. Every ethnic group has, I guess, their own mafia group. So, yeah, I always kind of thought that was a message to, like, Robert Kennedy. Like, don't run for president. Like, we can, and the CIA was maybe willing to look the other way, or the FBI was willing to look the other way, because they had their own differences with Kennedy in and of itself. And also remember, this is when Herbert Hoover was also, I think he was still running the FBI when Kennedy was president. And we've already come to know now, 30, 40, 50 years later, that he wasn't exactly the cleanest guy on the planet either.
Right.
So,
You think he was from Carrollton? I'm thinking he may have been.
So, yeah, I think Kennedy could have been killed by a small conspiracy, if you will. But I think the more plausible one is it was probably the mafia. And do I think that there was a magic bullet? No. Do I think Oswald probably was able to pull off 3 shots? Probably. I see no reason, people do amazing things in amazing situations.
Yeah.
So you think
you
think he shot him?
I think he definitely shot at the president. I don't know if he was the only one.
That's what I'm asking.
But I could see him be.
I
could see it being plausible. Yes.
Do you think Oswald?
Do I think it was actually him? I think that there was somebody behind the fence.
I've always thought that he was Patsy.
You always thought he was?
They set him up.
Do you think
Yeah.
Oswald could have been
Quite
an
possible.
Manchurian
Because Oswald's an
candidate?
idiot. I mean, he's like one of those guys.
I thought that as well.
He's hanging around when he's a
There's
moron.
a reason Jack Ruby shot him, and we'll never know that reason.
No, that's what I'm saying is Jack Ruby killed him so
Right.
he wouldn't fucking talk.
So he wouldn't talk.
Because he knew something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what,
What we'll never know.
Right. And I don't think that he's the one that killed him is what I'm saying.
Right. I think he shot at him. I don't know if he's the one that fired the fatal
I think he
shot.
shot at him too, but I'm saying
I don't think he fired the kill
He was
shot.
only there to be used as the fucking decoy.
He was the decoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As the real guy was in front of him.
Right. Behind the fence.
Yeah, shot him
That's
in the
right,
face.
the grassy knoll.
Our friend on YouTube wants to know.
No, the Earth is not flat.
No, he wants to know if you think Oswald could have been a Manchurian candidate.
No.
As
I
I
don't
said,
think
I
he
don't
was
think
smart enough.
He's an idiot.
I mean, I don't think he was, based on like the research I've done, like and read about and learned
He was
and
a
whatever.
loser.
I don't think he was smart enough. I mean, the fact that you could say he wasn't smart enough, but I mean, the guy did go and learn to speak several languages, so the guy did have intelligence. But I don't know that he would have been.
But he's like a bumbling.
Yeah, this isn't a guy who was going into politics, not by any stretch of the imagination.
Right.
Especially at that time. I mean, it was, the military industrial, Bell Helicopter lost over 55,000, I think it's 30,000, 25, 35,000, I think, helicopters in Vietnam. Somebody was making money somewhere off that.
Oh, yeah.
So, I think that, and this whole book goes into the whole military industrial complex, and I think that at that point in our country's history that was kind of taking root, if you will. It was building in the 50s, started with the Korean War. They wanted their war in Vietnam to solidify that, and
Well, they wanted a war in
eventually
Cuba
they
too,
got
didn't
it.
they?
I don't know if they wanted a war in Cuba.
Well, they wanted-
The CIA did.
Yeah.
CIA might
Because
have.
they-
I don't
because
think the
they
government
were-
and the people
Because they
did.
tried that storm the beach thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what Bay of Pig?
Bay of
Yeah,
Pigs.
Bay of Pig.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that was a complete and utter failure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they wanted it. They wanted to start a war.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
they
we
were
know
all
the
like,
Gulf.
oh, we got satellite
Well, it's
imaging of
been
this
brought
and
out
blah,
now.
blah,
The
blah.
Gulf of Tonkin didn't happen.
No, it's bullshit. False flag.
It was
False flag!
Yeah. So,
Alex Jones!
They're turning the frogs gay.
that fucking guy.
Did you see
Oh
that
my
thing
God.
where he said pedophiles and slaves on the moon? Or on
Mars. Yeah.
And then like 2 days later, they said Mars is covered with deadly chemicals. If you go there, you'll fucking die.
It's a sad world that we live in.
The people
That-
fucking listen to that.
I want to know. I want to know if the people that think the Earth is flat, if they believe that there's these slave colonies on Mars too.
Oh,
They probably do.
Yeah, but what?
But it's a sad
Is
world
Mars flat?
when
No, every planet
That's
is a
why I
fucking
always ask
sphere
them.
besides
I go,
Earth.
everything you can see is. That's what I always ask the flat Earth people. Like,
I wanna
you look
start-
up. You look up everything you see. Sun round, moon round, stars round. Looking at grab a telescope, look it up. Mars, whatever, round.
Uranus,
Jupiter, round. Everything's round. Why would the Earth be an exception? And they go, and one guy was like, "Well, you're so." What, I can't remember what he said. So you define that you are what you see. That's what he kept trying to say. Like what? He's like,
The fuck
he's
makes
like,
no
he's
fucking
like, so
sense.
like I see that can, that means you're a can. It's like that's what you're saying. I'm like, no, that's not what I'm saying.
He's either a
you're
Manuel.
a fucking idiot.
He's either you're a Manuel can't read motherfucker.
Yeah,
Let me
exactly.
explain something
It's
to
like
you.
he's an idiot. It's like you're fucking stupid. Like the
I-
reality of the situation is, some people are just fucking stupid.
Oh yeah, I mean the world is filled with.
And the internet has made it like so people who want to manipulate people put shit out there, and stupid people look at it and they go, "Oh, look at that world flat."
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's a sad world we live in when an organization like NASA has to publicly make an address.
yeah, that's fucked up.
Saying there's
That-
no
that-
colony
Oh, by
on
the
Mars.
way, we're NASA. We don't have slave no shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Please stop appeasing these fucking people.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
exactly.
I am so over appeasing idiots.
That's what I'm saying.
In news and in politics, like, you know, the world is flat. We don't need to go on the news and explain to them that the Earth is fucking round. Because you know what? I'm going to start my own group. All stars are triangles.
No way. You know what I love is when they go, whenever there's an election or anything's going on, they always go, well, the American people are smarter than that. Oh, but by the way, there is no pedophile slave colony on Mars. But the American people are smarter than that. You're like, no, they're not. They're fucking idiots. The majority of them are fucking dumb as fuck.
How close are we to the Ark down here?
It's in by Carrollton.
It just floated by with all the fucking rain we've had this week.
Speaking of the devil, it's right by Carrollton.
Yeah.
It's about a 45-minute drive from here.
Oh, all right.
Right next to that beautiful Savers.
That's the only car in that fucking lot.
Yeah, exactly. No, but have you been to the Creation Museum?
No.
Oh, dude, that's right by the airport. Dude, you got to go. No, I'm not kidding you, dude. You got to go. Everyone that lives here,
is it going to give me a headache?
I wish we could go one day. They won't let. Well, I don't know if they'll let me.
Are you banned?
We could try. No, I didn't get banned. But my dad was like, "Man,
Ken Ham is such a.
I think I'm gonna get thrown out because I'm gonna laugh at everything.
No, I was laughing and making fun of shit. Man, eventually, my dad was like, "Oh man, come on, man."
Ease up just a little bit.
I went to.
Dude, I swear to fucking God, I swear, I would not lie to you. There's a fucking model of the Ark in the thing, and there's a ramp. And they're bringing up all the animals. There's 2 dinosaurs on it. When you walk in, I swear to God, this is what happens. When you walk in the Creation Museum, there's a fucking animatronic, like, there's a river. There's like 2 cave children, like, down on the river, like, by the water. And then right behind them in the bushes is a velociraptor. And you're like, dude, they're about to get eaten.
According to them, though,
the water's like dip.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, man.
According to
you're
their
like,
belief,
right away, you're like, what the fuck is this place?
if you read into it, according to them, no animals ate meat.
No, that's
until
not.
after that happened.
There's a whole room dedicated to that. That's a nice thing. You go in, there's a whole room. It's dedicated to the premise that before Eve ate the apple, the Garden of Eden was perfect and holy, and therefore no death occurred. So therefore, there were no poisonous snakes, poisonous scorpions. There were no carnivores, so lions didn't eat
poison
meat.
band.
I guess lions ate pineapples or some shit. I don't know what they fucking ate, but it wasn't meat because nothing died. Because everything was perfect. No, I swear, dude. And you're like, and then she ate the apple. Oh, and then God got pissed. Oh, and he made snakes poisonous. He made fucking lions all of a sudden want to kill shit. It's like, and you're like, the very idea of this is insane. Like, you're walking through here, and you're like, and there's people walking around like, believing it.
Dinosaurs on Noah's Ark.
I swear to God. And you go.
But didn't have termites in that motherfucker.
Listen to this. Listen to this. There's a planetarium.
What about the insects?
Yeah.
There's a planetarium.
Yeah, so you go in the planetarium.
And it shows all the planets as flat?
I would not fucking lie to you, dude. Swear to God.
Hi, welcome to our planetarium. If you
Listen.
notice, we're just a flat disc.
No, listen.
Start a planetarium for flat earthers. That's what I
No,
want
it
to do.
explains how God created space.
It'd be a
and
planetarium.
everything, right? So this is the kind of fucking hardcore. This is kind of fucking hardcore confirmation you get from these people. They go, "This is a nebula." It's a picture of a nebula. They go, "Nebulas are beautiful. God loves beauty. Therefore, God made nebulas."
Really? Nothing
Yes,
about an exploding
and this is
star.
the fucking over narration of the fucking film, and right then we want to fuck. Well, who could argue with shit like that? You convinced me.
I wonder if creationism
It's fucked
and
up,
flat
man.
earthers go hand in hand.
No, that's what I'm saying, because the flat Earth thing does.
You would
have
think they might.
No, but I'm
Yeah.
saying that
But that would fuck up the whole Noah story.
flat
Because he
Earth-
might have just sailed off the edge.
the
Right,
flat
yeah.
Earth
Yeah.
thing does have some kind of biblical fucking thing in it.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that.
Well, I think it's funny that
There's an
Shaquille
element.
O'Neal
There's an el-
O'Neal believes the Earth
But
is
I'm
flat
going
now,
to
too.
say though, because they started using the Bible to fucking to
justify
pump this
it.
shit. Yes.
Our friend of the
Oh,
show,
okay,
Aaron
okay.
Flanagan,
Yes, she's a big Christian.
She's a super mega Christian. She's always Jesus this,
I'm not
God
against,
that.
as long as you don't push it up. Yeah, I don't care what anybody believes.
That's her
like
thing. She's very vocal about it. She thinks everybody needs to be saved. Blah blah blah.
Wait.
couple-
I have a caveat
I need
to
to be
that
saved.
statement, though.
You
Okay,
wasting
listen.
your time.
I don't mind if people believe in God or have beliefs about things that you
I don't care if people believe in deities.
But I'm saying that you will never know about. Okay, that's fine. Whatever makes you feel better, that's cool. When you tell me the Earth's fucking flat, fuck you, man.
No, I agree.
That's just denying reality.
There's some shit that I just can't get behind.
But I'm just saying, like, that's not a belief. That's bullshit.
Yeah, it's there's no.
And it's provable bullshit. It's not like, oh, no one knows, like God. Like, no one knows. So you could say, oh, you don't know.
I watched a video.
Nobody knows.
I watched a video one
But
day of
Earth
one of these
is
flat
not
Earth.
flat, and we all fucking know it.
It was, and they were homeschooling their kids. And at one point in this video, the mother
Oh God,
says
they're homeschooling their
they were
kids.
This was
They're
this
flat
is some
earthers?
scary shit.
And that's
my
what
God.
creation is.
This was some scary shit, though. They literally show the kids in the video, and the mother says to them something about like science isn't real. And as she's saying this, I notice in the background that they have a refrigerator. Now, I'm going to go on a limb here, but if it wasn't for science, you wouldn't be able to fucking eat. Okay?
Right.
Because
No,
there's this thing called electricity. Hold on here.
She's clicking a mouse on a computer.
Yeah,
Science ain't real.
No, right, exactly.
Then why you get this computer, bitch?
Quantum
It didn't
physics
just,
is what
like,
makes our
God
phones
didn't just drop
go.
this computer out of the fucking sky. Somebody made it.
Yeah.
And I was amazed. That,
Using
you
your
you have a refrigerator behind you, which is completely run
Well,
by
yeah,
science.
it's
It's,
how,
I mean,
how does your fucking phone work?
I bitch
It's-
don't know about
well,
paying
your
G's.
phone,
No, I'm
a
saying,
cell phone
not-
actually
not
works
your cell
on.
phone, your fucking
don't.
GPS
That was
tracker
great. That was good.
works off satellites. How the satellites run around a flat fucking Earth?
They run in a triangle. I know that. They did the satellites run, and there's three. They run in groups of threes. There's so much shit flying around on this planet up in space. You have
all the
fucking
space junk?
People,
Have you ever seen the
there's
space
not just
junk
junk,
map?
but there's like billions. Yes, I
Yeah,
have.
dude, it's
There's-
insane.
It's absolutely. You're like, holy fuck.
Yeah,
like,
there's that much
we
shit
need.
floating
You know how
around.
we pick shit up on the highway? We need to go to space and start picking
Yeah,
shit up.
it's insane.
We really do. We need to have some dudes out there in like, I don't know, orange like spacesuits picking shit up.
You ain't kidding. It's that
doing
bad.
community service.
It's that bad.
You know?
I just got a great idea here
What's that?
for my prison for profit scheme. That's going to be
Send 'em to
my goal.
space.
We're going to send them to space.
Let them pick up fucking garbage.
Space junk chain
And it's
gang.
it's really
work
that bad.
like, hey, you got to do community service.
Right,
Like, could you imagine being in court? Like, hey, guess what, man? You're either gonna like or not like your community service. I hope you don't puke on the way up. Most people puke. They puke on re-entry too. Although we lost a few, but don't worry, we think we've got that ironed out. Yeah, you're gonna go pick up fuselages for about 60 days while you're rotating around the Earth at several hundred miles an hour.
No, it's great to say.
And if
It's-
you don't
it's-
want to
you
do
can't
it,
you
just
know.
pick up the junk because it's going thousands of miles an hour.
Right. It's yeah. You got to be real good too.
Fuck
Yeah.
it, just send
You get
flat
up there.
earthers
You get up there. Yeah, we lost 4 this week.
Yeah.
There's like a guard, you know, like, yeah, we lost Tommy last week. You got to stay alert. You can't look the other way, okay? Because you look the other way, and the next thing you know, boom, rocket booster right to the fucking head, right to the head, just gone. You ever seen a body decompress? It's not pretty.
it's either that or we're going to put you on Mars with all the poisonous gas.
Yeah.
And while you're there, you can look for pedophiles.
Are they going to be able to go to Mars now because of this poison gas
No,
discovery?
I don't think so.
Oh, dead serious, really.
I mean,
No,
I wouldn't go.
Well,
We're gonna
I-
go someplace that's like, okay, we want you to fly 6 months.
I want to go someplace
Fucking
nice.
10,000 miles away and into space.
By the way,
more
we
than that, even. I don't know how many miles it is, but
It's a couple million.
it's a lot of fucking
Yeah,
miles.
it's
You're like,
you think a flight?
only
Think a flight to Australia's long?
Right.
Fuck.
right. And like, then we want you to get there, and then there's poison gas everywhere.
And once you're
I didn't hear
there,
about this.
everything I've read about putting people on Mars is essentially it's a death sentence from the standpoint that there's a plan to get you there.
Yeah.
There ain't no fucking plan to bring you home.
I bet Elon Musk is like, God damn it.
But here's
Motherfucker.
my thing. What if somebody like bucks
I
this?
don't-
What if some like psychopath like you know, like the movie Outland years ago? You
love
know,
that movie.
yeah, it's a great movie. But what if there's like some sort of like nut job that gets passed all the red flags and gets up there and gets to Mars and then goes batshit on everybody.
Dude, I had
Like, what
I
do you
was
do?
right. I was actually
Like the movie The Thing. They're like trapped there. You
I
know?
swear to God, I was actually writing a screenplay about that.
Really?
Yeah, big about a guy. There was somebody went crazy.
Yeah.
If somebody went
like
crazy,
they send
on the
20
board.
people up there and
Yeah.
one person's got a screw loose.
Yeah, one person gets all wacky.
It's just all fucking
starts
nuts.
bumping them off like 10 little Indians.
It's kind of like Alien.
Yeah, like an Agatha
Like,
Christie.
who is it? Yeah, like nobody, they don't know who it is, so it's like The Thing. Everybody's looking at each other like, which one is it? Like,
Yeah.
nobody knows.
Yeah.
One of them's a fucking killer.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, dude, that's a great idea for a movie.
I've been thinking about that since I heard about that trip.
No, this is like,
I couldn't do the flight
It's
because
like
I smoke. Like, you can't
five-
smoke in space. They're not going to let you smoke, so I am not a candidate.
it's like
I
5 or
wonder
6
if you
years
could
ago I
smoke
started
in
working on
space.
it.
I think if you're willing to go to Mars and never come back to Earth, you should be allowed to pretty much do whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
I would think, which is again
I'd jerk
kind of
off
like
in
the
zero
premise
gravity.
for the film here now. Maybe he goes like, "Oh fuck, I'm in space. I can do whatever I want. There's no law up here."
Right.
You know?
And he's like, oh, I'm making myself the captain.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Look at me.
call
I'm
me
your captain
he's like,
now.
Like, call me Admiral. You know, like,
Something's wrong with Tom.
right. He wants to be Captain Kirk all of a sudden.
You know that raises a very
He keeps trying to
interesting
paint
question
Janice
here.
green.
Right.
I wonder if you could legally murder somebody in space. I mean,
I don't know. I'm just saying I would not want to go up there. I'd be too worried about. First of all, I'd be great to be able to go to another planet, but you have to have a plan to come back. And I don't think that if they send people there, there's a plan to bring anybody back. Like they're there for
Yeah.
good.
Well, that's why
I
Elon
thought
Musk is
that
doing all
they're-
the landing,
I
the
thought that
self-landing
their
shuttle.
original premise was to fly people there and then they would set up a base.
I thought they were going to set up like a biodome, like
Right,
have
no,
like
it's a-
Pauly
no,
Shore
that-
run
no,
it too. You know, that'd be cool. That'd be fucked
Hey,
up.
welcome to Mars. You fucking douchebag. I fly 10 million miles to meet a douchebag.
welcome to Mars,
Right.
buddy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no fucking way, man. No, but I'm saying I thought that the original premise was for them to go there, set up a base or whatever, and then people would come after. And
That's
they-
what I thought
and then
too, but
they may or may not be, old enough.
I think it
to
takes
come
something
back.
like I think it takes something like 4 to 9 hours or 8 hours to send a signal there and back to run the rovers. It's a long time.
Yeah.
Because of its distance. I know that.
I think
And that's at the speed of light. Keep
Right.
that in mind. So that's
I
You
think
know.
their ultimate goal was to, I guess, I could be wrong, but I've watched like all the Alien movies, so I hear all these technical terms that I'm pretty familiar with here. I think their ultimate goal was to send like terraformers, which are like atmosphere processors,
Oh, yeah.
to go up there and like turn the atmosphere into like breathable, healthy.
couldn't we use that here with all the global warming that's going on?
If they could do that, why don't they suck the smog out of China? These fucks.
Why are we sending it to Mars? Put that fucker in LA.
Have you seen China? They gotta go out.
Hey,
gotta wear masks and shit.
Bruce, it's China.
Have you seen China? But I'm just saying, like,
We need that here.
yeah, it's like if
Right.
you could terraform Earth first.
There's a guy that made a machine that
fuck?
sucks smog out of the air. I
Yeah,
don't know
they
if you've
actually
ever
have
seen
one of
that.
those,
He
yeah.
made a machine that sucks smog out of the air, and it basically kind of made like a brick. It kind of looks like sand. Like it's just really fucking weird. And he's just every day he empties it out, and makes a little brick out of it. He's building like a house out of it or some shit like that.
A
It's
house
really
out of
cool.
pollution.
House of
Yeah,
smog.
pretty much. Yeah.
Interesting.
Smog.
Have you heard about
the House of Sand and Smog?
Have you heard of, speaking of the end of the earth, have you heard about what's going on in Yellowstone with all their earthquakes?
Yeah. Well, that's gonna blow. I mean,
I think it's, but
At
here's
some
the thing. They said, this was one of the articles I read, this was kind of interesting, that the odds of it blowing are 1 in 730,000.
yeah, I saw that.
So a lot of people kind of think, hey, that's it's not going to blow up. But I want you to put it in perspective. Let me put it in perspective for you. If you had a chance at winning $1 million and your odds were 1 in 730,000, all you had to do was put $5 down, those are pretty good fucking odds.
Yeah.
So in Montana today, had a huge earthquake.
Oh no, I saw that.
So I'm wondering
I
if
think that was yesterday.
maybe it might have been, but I'm starting to wonder if Yellowstone's going to blow sometime in the next 50
I've already
years.
thought that. I mean, it's already 400,000 years overdue.
Overdue. 40,000.
Yeah, something like that.
It's 40,000 years overdue, and the odds are
It's
1 in
going to
730,000.
At some point.
Yeah,
Yes.
but it's not going to be good for us. It's good.
No, it's not going to be good for
bad.
the whole
It's not
planet.
going to be good for the whole planet.
That's like
That's what I mean,
extinction.
us,
No,
yeah.
maybe not extinction level event, but
No.
pretty.
Well,
fucking-
if you live near Yellowstone, it will be.
No,
Yeah,
but
you're
I'm
right.
gonna say pretty heavy casualty event.
Yeah.
Like people are gonna get fucked up, and like even the people that don't live there, then that ash cloud comes over.
Yep.
It's gonna fuck up everything. Dude.
Yeah.
And like for a long, I'm like that ash cloud's gonna go all the way across the planet and probably cool the fucking. Now it will have to
It
global
will- it
warming.
will.
There goes our global warming. Problem solved.
But see, that's the thing is, Earth is a self-correcting system.
Correct. That's correct.
Like
For
we
all-
fucked it all up with that volcano.
and I'm going to go on a
Reset.
limb here just being a science nerd.
You never
but
remember that Carlin
the
thing?
temperature of the planet changes. Maybe that expedites what's happening in fucking Yellowstone. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that I don't think that our science has enough capability to tell us that yet.
Yes, no, I agree with that.
But I mean, why wouldn't it be? When they had the tsunami and where was it? Was it Japan? One of them fucked with the axis of the planet.
Yeah.
Fucked with
Damn.
our tilt.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's no reason to not suspect that if we are fucking with the atmosphere, there is.
Right.
Why wouldn't it have an effect
affects what happens.
on the core of the planet?
Right.
I see no,
It's the old fucking George Carlin line when he says, "The planet's not going anywhere. We are."
For sure,
Pretty much, yeah.
for sure.
It's like that's the fucking truth.
Yeah.
Hey, I just hope that when Yellowstone fucking blows up, that my little wheelchair that I'm driving in from my diabetes is fast enough to outrun the cloud. I think, yeah, we might have to get like a Hayabusa motor for my little wheelchair, but I want that fucker to scoot, and I want it to be amphibious.
Like a James
Are
Bond.
you gonna have one of them big orange flags on it? So like,
Oh,
if
yeah.
there's snow, we can see you at an intersection.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly how it's gonna be. I'll get some big, wide, like.
Have like a
Racing
boombox on the
slick.
back.
His,
and
Oh, yeah.
his
fucking-
wheelchair's like the car in Moonraker. He flips the switch. It turns into a submarine. He just rolls into the river and disappears. It's like, if you had a submarine in that river, you can't see shit. That river's fucking so brown and dirty.
And you're vaping while you do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Alaska.
This is going under.
I might have escaped cancer, but I let diabetes get the best of me.
Or that polar bear.
Yeah. I can't fucking believe that. But to bring it all around, come full circle here, that girl, like I said, I don't know if she was of age or if she was underage or not, and I hate to say anything bad about her if she was, a few, sandwiches short of a picnic. But literally, like, I would walk outside, and when I would walk back up front, I would see her standing there, and she'd, like, be staring at me all weird and creepy. But she would be standing there, and she'd be shaking like this. I'm going to show you guys.
It's meth, man.
Oh yeah,
She keeping limber.
And it was fucking nuts, man.
Is that what she was doing to his dick?
got-
Like,
She maybe have. Does she hear music? She could be hearing music in her head.
I don't know, man. I mean,
Really?
she was shaking and twitching and shit.
Or she had
And-
mess a hell of a drug.
And what's even weirder is like she be talking to her boyfriend or cousin or whoever that was, and like be
Yes,
talking,
all three of the above.
yeah, that's right.
be talking to him like a little kid, and making like animal noises and shit. At one point, she was over and she was like going like,
Dude,
sounds like she needs a
Wait.
fucking Xbox. Is
no,
what she
listen,
sounds
yeah.
like.
listen. It's like a David Lynch movie going on.
but here's the really creepy
the
part.
fucking in the mechanic shop. It's like,
This takes the
fuck
cake
is
though.
going on?
As weird as she was, and as childish as she acted around her lover / cousin / maybe brother,
Right.
when it came down to talk business, like about the car or about how much it was going to cost, at the drop of a hat, she was like straight as an arrow talking like an adult. And then you'd stop talking to her, and she'd go sit back down, and she start making fucking weird noises again.
Schizophrenia.
I'm thinking multiple personality.
MPD.
I mean, dude, it was fucking weird.
Yeah, but to be able to flip them on command like that—that's fucking pretty.
That's
pretty stellar.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
oh!
you can make good money with that. I think.
I almost forgot that this tops it all. Right?
How'd you forget this?
Well, this is pretty much the end of the story with those two. Their
They
cars.
stepped into their time machine.
No, I wish.
Do you know what this reminds me of? Though? You ever seen U-Turn?
Yeah.
No.
The Joaquin Phoenix and Claire Danes.
Yeah.
Those characters.
Kind of.
Where he's like, he had the thing carved in the back of his head.
Right.
And shit, he's like, "Is that your girlfriend?" Or like, "That's my boyfriend."
So their car's done. Okay. They pay their bill.
Right.
She pays the bill. Pulls out cash. Pays the bill. Whenever we get a car done on our lot, it's like it's got a slope to it, and we always back it in so the people can just drive straight out.
Right.
So they pay their bill. They go get in their car. They roll out of the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Start to go up towards the main road, and the car won't move. She comes out running up. The car won't move. The car won't move. Y'all just fixed it. Now the car won't move.
Got the emergency brake on?
No, the guy.
Popped it in neutral by mistake.
The guy's still in the car.
What was his first time on the highway?
Yeah.
He's obviously not.
The guy's still in the car while she's up there running up to us, yelling and stuff.
Wait, but he knows enough about cars. He knew his valve cover gas was leaking.
And he's been in Antarctica.
You know it's in gear.
Yeah.
First thing we do, my guy walks out there and he's yelling down to the guy who's like 20 feet out of our lot.
Right.
And he goes, "Is it in gear?"
Wow.
And the guy's out of the car. It's not moving. And he gets back in. He gets back out and he goes, "No." What he did, he put it in neutral and rolled out of our parking lot.
Oh,
and
wow.
even gave it gas. Pulled out of the lot and is sitting there in the middle of the road revving his motor in neutral.
Now, wait a minute. Now.
And you are installing cameras at your shop.
I need to.
Now I'm starting to think we were amiss here. I don't think that this is meth. This is they're on some oxys or something.
Yeah, there's something. Yeah, there's something.
But dude, they didn't shut up the whole time they were there.
No, that's meth.
I will say this:
Yeah.
there was a point in time.
If they're on oxys, they'd be like nodding out, and then.
There was a point.
She
in
wouldn't
time,
have been real talkative.
Yeah. She walked next door and she brought back some food, and they were quiet for about 30 minutes while they were eating food. And I commented about it on Facebook. I said, "Wow, they've actually been quiet now for like 30 minutes. This is awesome." No sooner than I pushed fucking enter, I swear to God.
Oh, hamburger was good, baby.
Yeah. They fucking went right back.
Best hamburger I ever had.
Exactly.
I
God
couldn't
damn,
fucking
we
believe
need to
it.
get on some Wendy's.
Taco Bell really does taste like Mexican shit. You think they eat this down there? You think they eat this in Mexico? They didn't have this in Antarctica. They don't eat Taco Bell in Antarctica. It's too cold. Yeah, that's wow.
Like I said,
Definitely the weirdest people I've ever had to
Twin
deal with.
Peaks or
I just got a day. My day job, I cut fucking grass, so I cannot top that story at all.
That's it. Sound like
you know,
Wild at Heart going on.
yeah. I just realized my day is filled with no excitement. That's
Yeah, and typically that's how I like my days to be.
that's
I like
all
a
right.
nice, quiet,
Well,
calm
yeah.
day, nothing going on. Those fuckers were there from like 10 o'clock in the morning till almost 5 o'clock at night.
Here's a little bit of a weird twist on that. You think maybe they were being weird so that they could get in and out of there faster? Like, hey, if we annoy and scare the shit out of this guy,
Right.
he'll just say fuck everybody else, do our shit, and we can get the fuck on down
We
the
need to
road.
fix this fucking car. Get the people out of here.
That's exactly what I was thinking. But
You know, and maybe
Didn't
before
happen.
they pulled in, he's like, all right, honey, now just act really fucking weird
Right. And
until
then-
we talk about money.
Then I'm gonna finger
And then-
bang you. That'll get him going. I tell you that right now.
We'll move to the front of the line.
Right, exactly.
one thing that I learned kind of in the middle of everything, I was standing outside talking to the guy working on the car, and I was talking to him about how fucking weird these guys are. And he points to the passenger window. He goes, "You think she's the one leaving all the saliva and stuff on the window?" And about that time, the other mechanic comes walking up, and he's like, "Yeah, she was licking the window the other day when they were leaving." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?"
Wow. Yeah, that's math. That's definitely fucking math.
There's something weird going on there.
There's no meth or too much sugar. One or the other.
See, Charlotte? Yeah, she's a window licker.
I'm gonna do that at a stoplight to somebody someday now.
Just like in the window.
Just to fucking see what they do. Just like sitting at a stoplight, and if they're staring at you, you look around and see who's picking their nose and shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna look over, and when somebody's staring at me, I'm just gonna look at the window, and then I'm gonna wink at them, and keep both hands on the wheel just to freak them out.
Lick the steering wheel.
Okay, I could do
better.
that. I could do that. I like doing weird shit to people in traffic sometimes. I just like to fuck with people. So, you know what's a good practical joke to do when you're out with your buddies? Just roll down the window when you pull up next to a car with the window down and go, "Excuse me, do you know how to get to Pittsburgh?" And then when they say no, go, "See, I told you we should have gone left." And then just drive the fuck off. They're going to talk about you for like days. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to go home and be like, "Dude, you are not going to believe what happened to me. Look, I met two of the most lost motherfuckers I've ever met in my life." "Really?" "Yeah, really." Guy rolled down his window, yells, "Do you know how to get to Pittsburgh?" I said, "No." He looked at the driver and said, "See, I told you we should have gone left." And then he just drove the fuck off.
I should say Antarctica.
I was going to say, around here, you might get beat up. Asking about Pittsburgh.
You never know.
Did you see about
Who they, motherfucker?
Right. Exactly. You gotta get to Pittsburgh. Fuck you, motherfucker.
Try Philly, maybe. I don't know.
That's what I can say. Like, don't say Pittsburgh.
No, it's really the farther away you are from Pittsburgh, the better the reactions are you get from people and the responses. I had a guy in North Dakota one time go, "Boy, you are hell and gone from Pittsburgh." Took me totally seriously. And I turned, looked at the other comic buddy, went, "See, I told you we should have gone left," and then we drove off, and his head exploded in the rearview mirror. It was fun to watch.
Like scanners.
Yeah, the farther away you get, the better off it is.
I can see that.
It's a fun one. That's one of my favorites.
I'd love to be on Google later and just like, randomly come across an Antarctica picture where it says like Pittsburgh. 9,000
There's
miles.
a picture of Antarctica, and there's that chick, like, hanging out with penguins and shit.
Holy shit.
Like,
she
damn,
wasn't
she
lying.
did go to Antarctica, goddamn.
I wish I had a picture of her and I would Photoshop her in
That's what I'm
Antarctica.
saying. Right into penguins. Like,
Maybe she.
you don't have, like, a fucking security camera?
I think it would have been. How weird would it have been if
We
she
can't
was
get, like, a still?
She didn't leave her name or nothing. You can look her up on Facebook.
I know his name, but I don't know her name.
Oh man.
Yeah, but if you looked up him on Facebook, you might find a picture of her.
And a meth relationship.
maybe she didn't really go there. Maybe she just watched the movie The Thing and thought she was really there.
Nah. The thing.
Yeah, I was there. There was a guy there that looked like Kurt Russell.
Right, exactly.
And there was some dogs.
Keith David. They played chess at the end. Dude, that's a great fucking movie.
That's one of my favorite.
I love
they remade it.
I love.
Did you see the
I know
remake?
the remake sucks balls.
Okay, good. I won't waste my
all
time.
those remakes suck balls, dude. As far as I'm concerned,
Yeah,
I haven't seen
the original's
one,
the bomb.
I haven't seen one good remake yet.
The Halloween remake is awesome.
No, yeah, whatever. Just because
When
you
you get a
fucking
pussy
get
on?
laid, yeah,
That's
you get
right.
laid every time you watch it. But
Can't
my
help
favorite part of that movie is when dude's on the table and they fucking they cut his head off and his
head's popped
head
out.
fucking grows legs like a spider and starts going across the floor. And the one guy goes, "You gotta be fucking kidding me!"
And then
It just like starts going,
it starts
scuttling
walking
across the
out.
floor like a crab, and he just turns his head. He goes, he watches it go, and he's like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me!"
And then they set it on fire
Yeah, and
with
they
a
use a
blowtorch.
blowtorch.
And this little spider thing's running around.
Right. But it's just like, dude, this fucking shit is crazy. You just whack off a part, and the part starts fucking crawling off. It's like you can't kill this thing.
Yeah,
Every piece of it was alive.
yeah.
So like you had to destroy every piece of it, or else it
would-
could multiply back into something.
That scene where they're doing the
No, that's how they
blood
figured
test,
out who
that's
they
one of
were.
my
The
favorite.
blood, he's like, well, the blood will react
Yeah.
to heat
And the one guy,
because
they spit.
every
and they're
part
all
of it is real. So
And they're all tied up, and the guy's like,
Right, yeah. He's like, get me the other guys that's normal. He's
They're
like,
all-
get me the fuck out of this chair. Things next to him like changing. He's like screaming, get me the fuck out of this chair.
And they're all tied up.
Yeah. He's like, God damn it. No, but each blood, they put all the blood in a petri dish, and then they stuck a hot wire in it. When they touched it squealed and everything. It went and jumped down the thing. And you're like, dude, imagine that. Every piece of it was alive. So in order to destroy it, you had to kill, all of it.
Yeah.
So that's why they were like, at the end, they were like, the only way to fucking do it is to just let him freeze again and hope that no one fucking finds it, So they just let him and dude just sit there like, I guess we're going to see him freeze to death.
Right.
Who do you think was the thing at the end?
Well, that was the thing. Was the only two
You're
left.
not supposed to. The only two left. It could
Right,
be. It could
right.
be them. It might not be them.
Right.
They
It was
don't know.
It was either McCready or Keith David.
Right, and they didn't.
You're like-
They don't know because you don't know that you're the thing until you.
Keith David, though, I must
Right.
say, is in two of the fucking that's a great movie, and he was also in They Live. I mean, he was
Yeah.
he was
Is
the
it- what
guy
is
that
it?
in They Live. He was the
Oh,
guy
okay.
that Roddy Piper fights in the. They made the South Park made the cripple fight
Yeah.
Right. I
off
sort of
of
remember.
that. He's like, put on the glasses. They beat the shit out of each other for like 20 minutes.
Cripple
Like, yeah. Like Keith David is in both of those movies.
I saw recently. I saw the new Will Ferrell movie.
The house?
Yeah,
Was that any good?
it's like an SNL film. The best part of the film, I don't want to be spoiler alert. There's a scene where the premise of the film is that the Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler, they're married. They're trying to get money for their kid to go to college. And they have this neighbor guy who's like a degenerate gambler, but then they decide to turn this guy's empty house after his wife left him into a casino.
Nice.
So they start having gambling, and then they decide to start having like sports. And there's two guys that are kind of recurring characters in the film, and they both decide they want to fight each other. And they put they've got duct tape and like socks around their hand, and they have this whole big montage of building up this fight, people taking bets, and the one guy walks up, he's like, rah, 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 and then they ring the bell, and one guy hits the other one, and he's fucking out like a light, just instantaneous. It's the best part of the fucking movie. And then later on, about 5 minutes later, somebody gets knocked down some steps, and when they show the person getting up from being in the basement, homeboy's all still knocked out and fucking floor downstairs. It has its moments. It wasn't.
Right.
And I also saw Wonder Woman recently, which
They say that's killer.
it's DC's redeeming themselves with this film. I will say that in terms of superhero films. Like next to Batman, I'd say it's probably my number 2. Yeah, it was that kind of good. It's definitely an anti-war movie. It's set during World War I, which I thought was a very interesting setting for not just a superhero film, but in general. It's something that we don't see a lot of movies that even tackle that subject, let alone that time period, which I
Not
thought was
since
interesting.
All Quiet on the Western Front.
Right, pretty much. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. I thought it was really well done. There was only a couple times when the effects didn't sell me real well, and there was one scene where they were swimming in some water, and I could kind of tell like, yeah, this is probably a sound stage.
Right.
But on the whole, I thought it was really good. It was superhero good versus evil, and it was Suicide Squad was entertaining. Wonder Woman was good.
I didn't even
Suicide
think
Squad
Suicide
sucked
Squad
balls.
Yeah, it sucked dick.
It was entertaining. I didn't
It's
think it
awful.
was great.
No, it's
it was
fucking
predictable. It
It's
was
fucking terrible.
I did not like
and
the
I love
Joker in
superhero
it.
movies.
I didn't like
I'm
the
like,
Joker
this
in
movie
it.
sucks.
But it was no Avengers. It was definitely no Avengers. It was no X-Men Days of Future Past. It was none of those. Wonder Woman might be close to that level, I think.
Right.
Harley Quinn was the best thing about fucking Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it's just because she
What was?
looks sexy.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn.
The best part of Suicide Squad was the end. Like,
Yeah,
thank God this shit's over.
When the credits roll.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what a piece of shit.
I did not like the Joker in
I
that
was gonna
film
say,
at all.
Joker
No.
sucked. Yeah,
When
like,
one,
yeah.
and
He was Tony Montana in Clownface.
Yeah.
That's what I saw the whole film. Every time I
Yeah.
watched him, I was like, this is just a weird Tony Montana. That's all I'm seeing here. Or a little bit of Gary Oldman's character from True Romance. That's kind of what I saw.
Yeah.
A combination between Tony Montana and I don't know
what was that
Gary
fucking
Oldman's
dude's
character.
name?
Gary Oldman.
I can't remember his name.
I don't know. He was the.
He had the dreadlocks and the
yeah. Today a white boy day.
Yeah,
no, day and a white boy day, and they beat the shit out of Christian Slater. So that's one of my all-time favorite movies too. It's It's in my top.
I love that fucking
True
scene.
Romance is a great movie.
I love that scene with Dennis Hopper and Christopher Walken about the fucking Sicilian.
Oh yeah. You know, a lot of that scene was improv.
I love that shit. No, I know.
They improved a lot of it.
It's fucking great.
It's the two of them.
So good.
He knows it's.
Like, you're Sicilian, ain't you? He's like, let me tell you a story. He's like,
oh, well, hey, folks, that is going to be our time this week. I want to thank everybody on Facebook for tuning in. Thank you.
YouTube.
YouTube. Thank you, Dusty B, for keeping me on my toes here. Especially our most active user here, Dallas Felony Ring. Not exactly for sure what that's all about.
Yeah,
it sounds like he may be in the prison for profit business. You need to email me. Let's talk.
Potential business partner.
We're going to Mars. Going to space. But, yeah, I would like to give a shout-out to Club Vape, 3 locations in Northern Kentucky. Florence, on Mall Road in Florence, Hebron, and in Taylor Mill, right up the street from where we're at right now. So if you guys ever go up there, you might see me up there or at the pet store. Who knows? But stop in there. If you go to the one in Florence, you can get you a mocha latte or pumpkin something. I forget what it's. Peanut butter something.
Pumpkin shit's not in season yet.
Yeah, it's not yet. Yeah,
it's coming though.
Yeah, they got like the flavor of the month or some shit's like peanut butter cup or something. I can't fucking remember. I'm not a fan of peanut butter cups, so I don't care. But last month's was fucking killer. It was really good, and the month before that was really good. But I got to give a shout out to our sponsors on doing that. Like I said earlier in the show, go to audibletrial.com/KYHBB. You can get a 30-day free trial of the Audible service and a free audiobook download. Even if you don't like fucking audiobooks, I don't like fucking audiobooks, but you know what? I signed up. I got us our fucking $15 cut out of that. And, you know, if you sign up, you can help us get $15.
And if you ever end up with, blind,
if you ever get diabetes and you get blind and you can't read no more, you can always go and do that. Or have somebody who can see log in for you and hook you up with a nice audiobook. I'm not going to lie. I listened to the Dawn of the Dead audiobook, and it was quite entertaining because I knew the movie.
Who read it? Is it just like some guy reading it, or is it like a big name reading it?
I'm not for sure
if it was Bing Rames, I'd probably read it. Well, I don't know.
I know some famous people do
love
it.
Bing Rames, but all of his screaming at me about his meat on the Arby's commercials been kind of pissing me off.
Is that?
I was like, I kept going. I hate that fucking meat guy. What the fuck? And then Glenn Childers like, this is Bing Rames. What the fuck, Bing Rames?
Yeah.
No, Bing Rames.
I love that
AET.
dude.
Or no,
yeah, he does that
AET?
too. Security system. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, that's him too? I didn't know that.
Oh, the security system.
Oh, really?
Yeah. ADT, protect your home.
But yeah, thanks.
Like, oh God! And he's like, "We have the meat." Like, oh God!
Oh, that's him.
Up. Yes, I hate it.
Oh God,
I hate it so bad. Like, shut up about your.
Why did Bruce Willis save you?
Yes.
But definitely, thank you everybody on YouTube for tuning in and watching us. Go like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, on all that shit. If you go to our Facebook page, you can find links to all that stuff. I'm working on getting the banner across everything, so everything will have all the links right there, blah, 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 all that good stuff. But thanks again for checking us out, and that's fucking it. I'm Jerry Saylor.
I'm Left for Sloppy SCB.
I'm Bruce Leonard.
Am I supposed to say I'm Dan Friedman?
I mean, you can say whatever the fuck you want, really.
If you can be whoever the fuck you want, Dan.
Yeah.
The earth is round.
And fuck Carrollton. We're out.
Dude, that guy really drove.